You guys have just finished the Cult of the Dragon dungeon. As you, some of the last time, some of the things that you encountered was that you had left this jail that had these prisoners, and you found your way to the last room of the dungeon, which featured several cultists, all who seemed to be forming or resurrecting a dragon of some kind. And you guys were able to arrive just in time to interrupt the process. However, you were not fast enough to save the prisoner, as the prisoner mutated into this half person, half dragon like being that seemed hostile to not just you guys, but also the cultists. Um, Battle ensued, and you guys had a long, hard fought battle before standing on the other side victorious. You killed everybody in the room, and you all took a moment to just breathe before you left this room and wanted to explore another room that you hadn't quite got to yet. Um, Exploring this area, you found a puzzle that required you to figure out how to turn these statues to unlock a door that took you basically to the loot room. And you guys were able to loot to your heart's content. You found lots of really cool items. Um, some of those being the gauntlets of ogre strength, which I believe Frederick ended up picking up. Um, you guys got a cape of the mountebank. You guys got a lot of gold. Um, yeah, and you guys would have been awesome to have some of that stuff before the battle, the boss battle, but you
Yay.
saved it for last, so that was cool too. But and then before we ended off last time, we all did level up. So I believe everybody's level 9.
Yep.
hmm
Perfect. Awesome. Okay, so you guys have just left this loot room, and you guys are making your way out of the dungeon now. I believe we haven't rested yet, so some of you guys are not doing the greatest, but you guys are making your way out of the dungeon now. Um, and as you make your way outside, you will see that it is early afternoon, I believe, mid afternoon. Um, you are on a time crunch to get back to Esaron, and that's where we're going to pick up.
And we still have a day and a half, right? Or something like that?
Yeah, you still have about a day, a little over a day.
It's a half a day ride back.
We probably have enough time to at least get a long rest and then rush it back to the city.
If we do long rest, I can put my spell. I can prepare sending, and let them know we're on the way.
That would work too, just in case if we get caught up. Because I'd rather be at decent health on the way back. That way, if we get caught by something, and if we do get caught by something, if we're late, we can do the sending spell.
Don't we have papers for that?
We do have papers, actually. Good point.
Could write papers, but if they want a voice, they could also send. Either we can send it now, or it doesn't matter.
Pen, should we text them or call them? Which do you prefer?
We'll just text them.
I'm saying we at least take a long rest. That way we can get back up to full. If we want to, just to be safe, we can at least get like a couple miles away from here and then take the rest. That way we're not like getting attacked outright.
I'm okay with that.
Down.
You guys would like to travel at least a couple miles out before stopping?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you guys make your way outside of this.
Can I
Yeah, go ahead.
can I grab one of the sorry? Can I grab one of the cultists' robes on the way out?
Yes, I believe some of you may already have some, but
I'm,
you are
I'm,
more than welcome.
I'm gonna go ahead and put it on and start the absorption.
Okay. You all begin to gather your things. Take a moment before getting on your horses that you had left. If you remember, when you got here, you were loaned some horses, and you all take a moment to maybe to discuss how you're going to travel with these horses. You are missing. You need an extra horse, essentially, or try to make it work with 2 people on another horse.
Rest here, and then we'll figure it out in the morning.
Or you can just walk. You don't have to ride.
We can walk, and because I still have Tim and Tom back there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Carrying.
I say we just walk and at least get like maybe an hour away from here.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Send a mental command for the 2 zombies with the boss that they're carrying to follow.
Okay. You all begin to travel and trying to make your way just away from this place, as it's nothing but a bloody mess inside. You guys travel for about an hour before feeling pretty confident that you're far enough away. You're making your way back onto, well, not yet, but getting close to the main road, and traveling back to Esaron. You guys are, I'd say, probably just in some hills and things like that. Not huge hills, but it's open land. Looking ahead, you kind of remember at walking pace, it's going to take a little bit longer to get there, but you should still be able to get there. It's just going to be cutting it close.
Say as long as we can send them a message just saying, "Hey, we're done. We're on our way." That way, if we are 10 minutes late or whatever, it's no big deal. Or at least it's not that much of a deal.
I mean, if it's half a day of travel, that's like 12 hours, right? And if we only sleep for 8 and we have a day, we should have enough. We should be there like a few hours early.
Have 4 hours to spare. Roughly.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
You guys are going to
What
keep
was-
traveling? Or did you decide to rest?
Rest.
Okay.
I think we're resting.
Yeah, taking a rest and then moving.
What was the person's name again? The king's hand?
Jeff, something like that. I don't know.
Darian, you remember.
Darian? Okay.
I think it's Jeff.
Some guy named Jeff's about to get a letter. I'll take a piece of the non-ad paper. Actually, no, ad paper. Gotta help her out. Ad paper.
Okay.
King's Hand Darian.
Mm-hmm.
We come back. We were on our way back from the dragon cultists. We have good news. See you soon.
Okay.
They're unbroken.
Right before all of you, this letter basically folds itself up and then poofs away and leaves behind just little bits of smoke as it poofs itself away. Maybe 15 minutes go by before a poof happens in your face and you see what looks like this more regalistic looking letter appears before you. It's got a very nice symbol stamped into it, or not stamped, but inked into
Pressed.
it, I guess.
Yeah,
Pressed,
yeah.
I guess it is stamped into it, and you can see it's bearing the symbol of Esaron. Choose to open it.
Yes.
Opening it, you just see that there's a confirmation that we'll be waiting your arrival. The king and myself are very eager to hear of what you've found out. It's signed the king in his right hand. Rowland Whitfire and Darian, get his last name right.
What about his left hand?
Darian Esteris.
He's all right.
He's just all right. He doesn't make the paper.
Ah,
Gosh dang.
Piece of paper is a little flashy, but
Yeah,
It's
they're
the
just trying. They're
message.
just trying to show. Yeah, they're
That's how
just
they
trying to
do.
show they're better.
Okay,
Just
you guys.
because they aren't sponsored.
Rip. All right. Well, you guys begin to set up camp for the night.
Yes.
You take a few moments to just kind of find a good spot nearby that kind of just gives you some cover from anything that could be out there, wildlife, other people, bandits, and such. And you're able to kind of conjure up or create this campfire. As nightfall kind of falls over you, it's the first time that some of you are like laying down for the first time, actually like sitting back and relaxing in what feels like a long time, but really it's only been maybe a day and a half, 2 days. But just the last battle in that dungeon was not what some of you may have been expecting. Ran, as you kind of sit down in your form, you are just like you feel comfort from this too, and in this whole spectral form that you are in right now is just different. It's not something not something that you've done before or in any way, so it's different. And but you can still feel the grass, you can still smell the air, hear the crackling of the campfire, and you almost feel like this spectral image of yourself is becoming almost stronger in a sense, where you almost feel more physical than you have within the last maybe hour or two. You don't know. It's not necessarily a bad feeling. It's just you feel almost as if you are being brought here in a way that your spectral self is taking your body from where it is in Murta and bringing it here very slowly.
Okay. I as we bed down, I have some things that I would like to do, but I'll let us go through
Okay.
everything before we get to bed. Rand will plan to take first watch.
Okay. The rest of you, is there anything you guys would like to do during this time? As the night does fall, you start to hear crickets, start to hear birds that are slowly becoming quiet. You hear some wolves off in the distance that howl.
Leaf is gonna write a letter and then like on the special paper. And then as soon as it's gone, she's gonna curl up and go to sleep.
Okay.
And I will message you who it's to.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Kalter will just put one bolt in his crossbow and just put that on the ground next to him and offer to take second watch and go to sleep.
I can take third.
Okay. That should be our watches.
Rand's gonna wait for everyone to kind of settle down, and he'll begin to do like a loop around the camp, and just keep an eye on everybody. And as it gets a little bit later and later, probably about I don't know an hour before his watch is up, and he's pretty sure everybody's asleep. He wants to find a space that he can sit down real quick.
Okay.
So in this form, do I have my backpack?
I'd say it's with you. Yeah.
I'd like to take the backpack off. I'm gonna look down at it. Is it the same color as me and everything? The blue and all that I've
Yeah,
had.
the
Blue
color is
going-
starting to almost come back, if that part of that form, essentially.
Um, he's gonna kneel down on the ground, put it in between his legs in front of him, flip open the top, take a deep breath, and look up, and then just put his hand down into it. And if it's possible, I want to pull out the great axe that had been placed in there previously,
Okay.
a long time ago.
I think
And
I know what you're
I
talking about.
just want to see if it might not have been. It might be a great. Hold on, let me pull. I can tell you exactly what it was. I'm sorry, I didn't have my list open for it.
Oh, good.
Hello, where is Google Docs? There you go. I just got to pull up my list really quick. What's in there? What did I put in the bag of holding? Yes, I have a great axe in there. I believe I put a great sword in there during the dungeon. But yes, I want to see if if I am able to access the great axe that's in there.
Yeah, you take a moment, you focus on this great axe. As you reach into your bag, you see a great axe come out, or you can feel it in your hand.
Okay. I'll pull it out. I'll kind of look at it, put it back in the bag, close the bag, pick the bag up, and we'll finish my watch.
Okay. Your watch comes to an end as you walk over to Kalter.
Just kind of give him a gentle shake. You're up. It's going to take
I will
Ryan
just
a
nod
while.
and get out his crossbow.
Okay. As you sit for your watch, it seems fairly safe out here. Keeping an eye around, it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of danger, and so you do go through your watch without having any issues arise. Is there anything you'd like to do during your watch?
Cal will kind of pace a lot around, looking around, and just have the crossbow prepared,
Okay.
and just kind of just every now and then he'll kind of stop and sit down, but he moves a good bit during his watch,
Okay.
just constantly looking around the perimeter.
Okay. Well, your watch will end up coming to an end with no surprises as you run over to Corin to wake him up.
Yeah, Cal will just gently wake up our watchman number 3.
Mhm.
Just kind of gesture that he's up, and then go back to bed without a word.
I'll have the two zombies go to other sides, or opposites of the camp to keep a watch with orders to come to me. And if they see anything dangerous, and then I'll just sit alone to the far side as I just read through my book, read through my spells as I keep typing in as I keep writing in notes.
Okay. All right. Well, then your watch comes to an end. You start to see daylight arise, and you know that it's about time to wake everybody up and get ready to get back on the road.
All right, I'll do that as I finally pick my second spell. I went with nothing. I said, and I was talking to anybody about. So
All right. See, it is a cloudy day outside, and that there is this cool weather coming in. I have a feeling it's going to rain today.
Full. Oh, shoot! I forgot to do this thing from last night.
So seeing the uh, feeling that cold and knowing it's probably gonna rain today, I kind of grab my amulet, kind of close my eyes, like just lightly speaking, like, thank you for the storm that's coming. Continue, knowing that I associate my deity with storms, so I thank him every time one appears.
You could hear a crackle of thunder far off in the distance afterwards.
The response.
You just kind of believe that that came from your amulet, or it could have been coincidence, but
Ah, it definitely came from him.
but yes, it is seemingly about to storm or rain, as you all are awakened by either Corin or just the brisk, cool air that kind of hits all of you. Is there anything you guys would like to do on this fine, cool morning?
Just gonna get everything ready. Well, I'll get I get a whatchamacallit, like a ping or something, don't I? When I feel my spell for animate dead loosening.
Yeah, you will feel like the magic disconnects.
Okay, that's kind of important because I need to cast it again on them if I want to keep them.
Okay.
So yeah, if I still feel like I got a decent amount time left, right? Because it was like afternoon, noonish with them when I animated those two.
I'm sorry, repeat that one more time.
I was saying it was like around the afternoon when I had animated them.
Oh, yeah. It was
Okay,
not quite 24 hours yet. It's got a little ways to go.
perfect.
Okay. You guys begin to pack up your things and prepare for the rest of your trip. And you begin to travel. After about 2 hours, as the sun's kind of rising up, you guys kind of hear a popping noise, and a leaf, you catch this letter that pops up right in front of you.
Do we all notice or receive it?
I'd say y'all
As we're-
could hear the popping noise that it makes, yeah. And it's a familiar sound, indicating with how many letters you guys have received in the past.
Would not be a familiar sound to me.
Would not be to you. It does kind of strike you.
I'll
Like,
just kind of
what
like
was
look
that, maybe?
over, look around,
Yeah.
see if I can see anything, if I notice anything going on.
She'll like kind of like quietly like open it to herself, like praying it's from her mom, and then after she reads it, just kind of like tuck it in her pocket and just like kind of cry a little bit, but very quietly, and then just like deep breath, move on.
Corin has a passive perception of 10, so he's just walking.
Tunnel vision.
Chilling.
I'm still in my book. I'm just reading my book all the time.
What's my passive perception? I think it's pretty high. 15.
Mine's 12.
So
Well, my
Alright.
passive perception is somehow a 15. I forgot I had skill proficiency in that.
I know my character's probably just looking at his new gauntlets, like trying to figure out a good way to use them. Just examining them.
Yeah, looking at these, it's very weird to you because they conformed at first were very large, but have conformed to your hand size now, and it feels very not as heavy as they once did. It feels like you're kind of getting used to them already, and they feel good.
I'm just like looking at them, like trying to think of some way to really put them to use, because knowing that I mainly am using like Dex, of course, just looking at them, trying to figure out like, okay, what's a good strong strengthy thing I can like do with these. So
All right.
Al will be lost in his thoughts this morning, so he won't notice.
Okay. Rachel just said that her power just went out.
Oh, I thought she was
No.
just calmly sitting there chilling.
Yeah.
I just thought she was just really still. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was like, all right.
Damn, that got me good.
But
She really is a rogue.
but anyway, she won't miss much here. As you all kind of begin traveling, you notice that it does start to rain. Just one of those drizzly days. But you continue to move forward, and after a couple more hours, you do see, or after about an hour and a half, you do see just up on the horizon the city of Esaron. Almost harder to see just because of the rain and such. Creates almost this natural fog, but you travel for almost another hour before you get back up to the front of the city gates. I'd say maybe a half mile away.
Before we get to the gates, like before we get anywhere like semi close to the city, I'll have the two zombies put Bad Boss Dude on one of the horses. Like I'll walk the rest of the way, one on the horse, and then on the Dragon Fang, and then I'll tell them to I'll put them to rest so I don't cause fear leading in zombies into the city.
Okay. You watch as
So I'll
these
just
zombies
end my spell.
basically just fall before you, and almost like a very fast decaying process happens right before all of you. Yeah. As they basically fall like a ton of bricks. You guys are maybe a half mile away. There's not a lot of traveling going on right now just because of the weather, most likely. Are you guys ready to return to Esaron?
Do we want to send a spell to him right now, or do you want me to use an add magic paper? Do we need him to get us into the city discreetly, or
I would send him
everyone hates us here?
I would send him a message first.
We've got to tell you.
And wait until we get a response.
Why does everybody hate us? We were attacked when we were last here.
We were blamed for the events.
Yes.
What
We were the
event?
scapegoats.
We were attacked and we ran away.
The Black Hand, when they took over, used us as a scapegoat and said we were the ones who caused it.
Temporarily took over.
Temporarily took over.
Okay.
So that's why we did this whole thing, to try to clear our name with the king.
Okay.
And I think it was more the people were saying that they didn't like you guys.
Yes.
And the king said that he knew it was the Black Hand, but wanted to help clear your name. But we had to do it.
Yes, that's what I meant. Yes, that we had to show that we were not bad. I'll use another add magic paper to send it to them. Do you have a way for us to get into the city discreetly? If you can, please use a setting spell in response.
Keep forgetting too that
I'll try to save a spell slot if I can.
My character wasn't here with you guys when that happened. That was Steven.
You were with us when we went to the king the first time, though.
Yeah,
we explained.
Yeah, you were with us right that
It's just
part.
been a while.
Yes, but I wasn't. I was Steven when the whole Black Hand situation happened.
But
in the city.
you already got.
No, but you were
with
with us when we went to the king. So
Exactly. Yeah.
I think we explained it to you. Maybe the spark notes.
You did explain it. So but my guy's still questioning, like, why am I having to clear my name? I didn't do anything.
Right. Yeah.
Guilty by association.
Pretty much.
Why me?
All right. You send a letter, and you wait. About another 10-15 minutes goes by that you get a response again of the same type, and as it comes through, you open it up to read, and it simply says, "We'll have armed guard waiting at the gates, waiting for your arrival. We'll make sure to usher you to the king's quarters quickly and swiftly. Hopefully, to not have too much of the city know that you have made it back."
Okay. We just need to go talk to the guards, and they'll try to get us in. We might have to move fast.
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Begin walking up to the front of the gates. As you do see a few armed guards who are here standing out in the rain, just kind of holding their hand on their hilts of what maybe looks like a long sword. And
Oh shit! Regular traveling clothes, not my necromancer robe. I'll use my
Good catch.
my robe. I was like, switch back, take off the mask, everything like that, real quick.
cool.
Can I do
I'm
like a
tempted to use my
perception?
disguise kit.
Do like a perception check. I just want to see, like, as we're coming back, just to see if anything's just a little fishy.
Yeah, go for it.
Doesn't hurt, because from what you guys have told me, you guys had to deal with the Black Hand already taking over the city. I don't want us coming back and then all of a sudden something else happened that we didn't see.
Mm-hmm.
It's an 8, so everything seems fine.
Yeah, everything seems fine. It just kind of dreary. It's not really. It seems like it's just one of those days where everybody's, as far as some of the people that you've seen just getting this close, everybody's just kind of like, it's raining. But as you approach, you do see that at first one of the guards just kind of nods at you and has to do a double take. He's just like, "Oh, hold on," as he stops you. He's like, "We were
Try to not make this a big scene, please."
Of course, just come with us." As he turns and then takes what looks like kind of a roundabout way rather than through the main part of the city, like he took, like some of them took you last time. There's just a couple people here and there that are like watching because it doesn't look normal for a guard to be escorting this many people. But taking a roundabout way definitely helped. You have a few common people, commons folk who are kind of looking. They're like, "Hey, what are they doing? What do they do?" And people are asking questions, things like that. They don't completely know the story right away. Maybe
We got captured again.
some of the people confused, just looking at you. The guard just kind of looks back. Let's just make this quick. Let's try not to talk to them.
Now that we're at the city, and considering what happened last time, and then hearing that the Black Hand had temporarily taken over, Ram would like to keep an eye out in terms of what's going on and see if anybody's clocked us, starts following us, if there's anyone that's besides the guards that continues to kind of keep pace with us.
Okay. Perception, please.
And I would also like to look around and do the same.
Okay. Yeah, you guys can roll. Everybody can roll perception checks.
Are we taking the horses with us?
They probably would have saddled them up right outside, at a outside stable.
I would have, if that was the case, then I would tap one of the guards. I got some cargo we need to take with us.
I'm like, okay, cool. Get all your things.
And I'll point to the dragon fang.
Kind of looks over. And kind of just looks back at you like, are you serious? You can see it kind of looks around for maybe some additional help as he grabs a couple more guys to try and maybe hide this. He's just like, okay, let's go.
We don't want to drag this on as much as you do.
All right.
I would like to cast message as well as we're walking to Rand. Not sending, but just message.
Mm-hmm.
If we want to keep my powers a secret, around here. We might need to say that you can bring this fellow back. But I could bring him back if need be, so he can answer for his crimes.
I tend to think he's already paid the ultimate price for his crimes. Let's not cross that bridge until we get there. But I understand what you're saying.
You see some of the guards are kind of distraught by this. They're a little bit confused even, but they wait for you.
We said that in the middle of everything, or did they hear us?
That was
Or-
through a message.
Message comes as a whisper to your ear.
Yeah, no, they didn't hear that.
Okay.
But they do seem kind of like, "Are you serious right now?" Kind of vibe. As you,
What we bought it's the body of the main guy, right?
Yeah, Dragon Fang.
Okay.
how are you carrying this guy? You can do it by yourself. It's just gonna look like you're
That's
struggling.
what I was asking. That's what I was asking if the armed guards were going to be carrying it with us, like if he got extra guys.
Oh yeah, you can ask him.
Yeah, that's all I was saying. We need help carrying him because I can't. I mean, I could carry him, but it's just going to look pathetic.
Kind of looking over at you like, "You want us to carry your baggage?"
Seeing this get like this, Rand's just gonna walk over and chuck the body over his shoulder. I'm assuming that this is something that I can carry, maybe.
Yeah. Just make a strength check.
Put him in the bag.
Rand just instantly collapses.
Please don't go to one.
It's too bad we don't got Steven anymore. Dad do this heavy lifting.
5.
As you go to lift him up, he is pretty heavy by yourself.
Anybody? Can we just?
I'll help. I'll help carry him.
Leaf would love to help, but
You got like a hand on him.
just holding his head up.
You look like you're doing that whole pretend I'm helping, like my hand's there, but if you move your hand, you're actually not doing anything.
No, I feel like Leaf is
Exactly.
like holding on to the bottom of him, and just her feet are just kicking.
No.
Oh man.
Can we start doing like the Jamaican coffin dance as we're going?
Oh my god.
Oh, that's
Yes.
so good.
Oh
Yes,
no.
I agree.
If we all do the help action, we can do it.
I didn't mean to derail the campaign in this way.
No, it's perfectly fine.
This is the best way.
Roll performance.
All right. So, with 2 people, it's not a problem for this guy. Carry him. A couple of the guards are like looking around, like this is kind of weird. This doesn't happen very often. They're just kind of looking around. And they're ushering you into the city, and they're trying to walk in a line to kind of hide this corpse that you're bringing into the city. And they begin to take you a roundabout way through the city. And again, some of these people are like trying to see, they're trying to look, and you can hear some of the guards just, "It's not your business. Quit looking." You know, they're just kind of yelling at some of the townsfolk, and you end up making your way to the chambers or the keep of Esaron. As you make your way through the upper city, you see the familiar large keep and doors that you enter through to eventually get to the king and anybody else there that is of the utmost importance. You find yourself walking down familiar long hallways and corridors before finally getting into this area right before the long hallway to the king. You see another armed guard there who's looking, and the other guards are like, "It's king's business." And the other guy kind of looks over and notices the body. "Oh, all right. Okay." And opens the doors as a loud creaking sound opens. Or a loud creaking sound happens as the door opens wide. You all walk down the familiar hallway. These long marbled pillars and this long red rug that goes across the floor. And at the very end, you see an old bearded king just sitting there with Darian right to his right, kind of standing up. Several guardsmen in this room, just like before. And as you're approaching, as you're making your way up, probably about halfway up, you can see Darian's got a big smile on his face, and he looks at you all. He's like, "I knew you could do it," and just in time too. As you guys are making your way forward, he says, as he's looking, "You got something there for us?"
This is the leader of the cultists, the Dragon Fang.
All right. Didn't think you'd bring corpse here, but okay. He's like, "Well, go ahead. Tell us what you found out."
Well, this man paid with his life, but we, between our party, some of us are patrons, have patrons, and others have other means. The best information that we thought we could bring this man back, and you might be able to get even more information out of him yourself.
Okay.
If this is something acceptable, I just ask that you wait either till tonight or tomorrow night, and it will be done.
This is very valuable information that you've brought us. This individual should have been something we thought of from the start, but he didn't. So I guess you guys are gonna deliver him to us, and we can take care of it from here.
We would like to question him ourselves as well.
That won't be necessary. We'll question him and figure out everything we need to know about the Cult of the Dragon and their existence here in Telestia, and then we'll deal with him as we see fit.
Rand will step forward, pull out the notebook that he had found on the table, and flip to the pages that had diagrams of the ritual that had been ongoing on the floor. You may want to review this. This provides additional information. The cultists were trying to bring back dragons through sacrificing individuals. It looks to be some kind of combination between sorcery and alchemy. They were tasked with bringing dragons back to our plane. If you see anything like this, they need to be eradicated.
Well, that's a unfortunate confirmation. We were worried that they would do something like that. Always been obsessed with dragons and the like. But many people know that there's not very many good dragons in the world left. We'll take this and we'll make sure to, if we see anything like this, we'll know who is doing it and we'll take care of it very swiftly. We thank you for this. This is very helpful.
There were 3 prisoners that we rescued as well. It may be worth noting for the guards that these individuals might come here to seek shelter if they have not already. Unfortunately, in the heat of the adventure, we were unable to get their names or any additional information, but you can simply ask them about the Bone Lord that guarded their cells, and if they're able to confirm the creature that held them within their cages, then you know that they speak true. But these were people that were lined up for sacrifice and unbelievable torment. Could use with some good luck.
Well, we will keep our eyes out for people like that. That's very unfortunate. Well, we'll make sure to clear your names, just as we promised. Start spreading word that the Unbroken is not a part of the acts that happened here, and that the destruction of the arena was only more of the Black Hand, and that your names getting dragged through the mud was another one of their schemes, and that the proof of this was that you just took out the Cult of the Dragon dungeon for us, should anybody question your loyalty to Esaron and its king.
I mean no disrespect. The right hand and the king of Esaron. It doesn't sit well with me that we went through all this work and we cannot question this person ourselves. We have dealt with lots of things dealing with dragons recently, and doesn't seem like it's coincidental that we need to talk to him. I implore again, please. If we can handle it, or we can handle it ourselves. If you need the magic, or if you bring him back yourselves, that we just want to talk to him.
Is there something for you to really gain from speaking to this individual?
Information is always worth the gain.
But is it valuable to you? Is this information that he may reveal to you important to you?
It
It's
very well
important.
could be.
It could be important to any one of us. It could help us deal with more about the Black Hand. It could deal with, I don't know what to tell you, but we don't know unless we try.
You think
We
the
can't.
Cult of the Dragon is aligned with the Black Hand?
I cannot say for certain, but it doesn't hurt to find out.
There is no evidence that we have come across, to my knowledge, that links the two groups. Rand's gonna
Leaf
shoot
is
his brother a glance.
Leaf
Try
is gonna like grab Cal's arm and be like, "Should we tell him about the dragon that they threatened us with?"
I forgot about that dragon. Shit.
Like
I didn't.
she's very
I
quietly
didn't.
like trying to pull him down so she can whisper this in his ear.
At the same time, I'm also grabbing Cal, and I'm like, should we tell him about the dragon we saw on the way here?
At that point, his gaze kind of shifts off of Rand and notices that there are two people trying to get one other individual's attention. And as he looks over, he's like, "Is there something that you would like to share with us?"
Yes,
And then-
our party associates here are simply mentioning that the experimentation they were planning to go further with than what they already accomplished.
And what exactly does that entail?
Well, as the book will tell you, they were trying to turn people into dragons.
Okay. Okay then. Do you give the book to him or do you just show him? Rand.
I will pull out I will provide the copy, because I had done a sketch
Okay.
of the drawing, and I'll provide that and close the book back up and kind of tuck it away.
So he takes the sketch and just takes a moment to look at it before handing it to the king, who takes it and then just takes a moment to examine it before another individual kind of comes from behind him, off in the corner. Just looks like almost like a courier. Kind of he kind of holds it up, and this guy comes and picks it up, nods, and then tucks it away, and then goes back to this corner behind him.
Really don't trust this guy.
The king just kind of sits there again,
Don't you
resuming
trust?
his posture. And then
Rand's
I'm
oblivious
just
to
wrong, man.
Rand's oblivious to whatever's going on.
Okay. Darian kind of speaks up again. Well, if you feel it's that important, I must tell you that if you all are present for the resurrection of this individual, that whatever is said cannot be said outside of these walls.
And how would you bring him back?
We have some very talented individuals that can
Provide
work
a true
some.
Rand will interrupt. Provide a true resurrection.
Okay. We could do that as
Is
well.
or is that what you're referring to?
Well, if this is someone who, one of the leaders or individuals that help run the Cult of the Dragon, it's not someone that we typically want to keep around. He kind of gives you kind of a side glance.
Rand will give a nod and just step back.
You can do whatever you wish afterwards. You can sentence him to death and send him right back.
He kind of nods. Well, we'll find somebody who can take care of this for you. Well, you won't have to exert your own energy. And we'll get to work on this shortly. Is there
Just nod my
anything
head.
else? Is there anything else we need to know about the cult of the dragon or their plans or anything of the like?
Is there anything else that you would bid us do at this time? I believe that there are interests for our group that we would like to explore further, but we need to know if we have leave to have the
Is
freedom
there
to move forward.
is there a token or something we can show around the city to show that we have the trust of the king and his council?
We don't have a token, but we will send out messengers and spread news of your good deeds here. Uh, be surprised at how easy it can be to shift some perspective, given a majority of people on the right track.
In the room that we're in right now, how many? It's besides us. How many people are in here?
You see what look like 4 guards on each side of you, all in what look like plate armor, standing there, kind of holding hands on their hilts. And then there is the king in front of you, the right hand, there's an individual behind the king, and then there is a door that seems to lead off into another area. But besides that,
Is the individual the same person that he gave the papers to, or is this someone completely different that hasn't done anything, hasn't interacted, is just observing?
this would be the individual that he gave that paper to, your sketch. As you ask that question, Darian kind of looks at you. Well, actually, the king wants to talk to you himself. He kind of takes a step back, and the king just kind of sits there. You can see his he kind of looks at each one of you, and then he kind of sits up straight and kind of looks at all of you. You all are a very special bunch. I haven't seen adventurers and people like you in a very long time. You call yourselves the Unbroken, and you have shown some of that even today. I hate to ask you for help again, but this time I believe it correlates directly to your own issues. The Black Hand. As we spoke last time, they've infiltrated Esaron. They've got spies, and if they have enough power to place the blame of their attack on a group of individuals like yourselves and get away with it, then I'm worried about what else they could do within the coming weeks. We, as a city of Esaron, and as Telestia as a whole, we cannot let this organization grow. We cannot let this organization build more cities. If you haven't heard, Blackstone is a city nearly dedicated to that organization that, as many of us know, have just let go. We've let them have their space, hoping that they wouldn't cause more problems. But it seems like they've invaded our side of the world. They've invaded places like the Forge, places that were never supposed to be found. They have technology beyond what we believe is safe, and they know things that they shouldn't. And I look at you all, a group of mighty warriors, and I'm asking you, as a king of Esaron, can I call on you for some help?
A wound left to fester spreads its rot everywhere. We are quite familiar with the Black Hand already, and it would be our pleasure to put them down.
Well,
But hopefully we can get paid for this one.
you will surely be paid. But know that the ultimate payment is that the Black Hand is cleaned off the slate. But yes,
For most of us here, Rand's gonna look around at everyone except Frederick because he doesn't know specifically. many.
I
of
feel like
the
Frederick's just
here.
kind of standing in the background, just like patiently waiting and just watching.
His turn.
Yeah.
So I will look around to the original 4 members, the other 3 members of the Unbroken. We have our own motivations to deal with this group, and can acknowledge the payment that would be received by doing away with them. They are a blight on our civilization and a threat to everything that we hold dear. Their transgressions cannot continue and put at jeopardy the lives of the people here. And Rand's going to kind of shoot a glance at Corin disapprovingly about the money comment.
Spellbooks are expensive.
I understand that. What would you have us do?
We are staging an attack against Blackstone, but we need to get people over to the Pirate Isle. There's 2 ways of travel, and I'd like for you to decide how you would like to travel.
Is this the same kind of travel we did when we paid and didn't get on the boat?
Damn.
Is this the exact same like the travel scheme?
This is
So you can
almost.
go down here.
Are we gonna
Go
literally
there.
hire the same captain and meet him again? Like, hey guys, sorry.
No,
Fee
he
fund?
he does look at you and he says, "We've got 2 ways of getting to the Pirate Isle, and we're doing our best to try and get people over there quietly. We don't believe that we can send ships over from where we are directly to their castle. It sits right there on the side of their continent. So we're going to go around. Some of our ships are going to a port city known as Iclodon. Another option that we've never tried before. This is the first time that we are even attempting something like this, is we've got sky ships.
Rand's eyes light up.
Now, you all look like you're very capable of being in either scenario. So, whichever you choose, I'll have Darian choose a couple of other capable adventurers to take either ship or sky ship. But with as pressing as things are, I'll need you all to decide whether you would like to travel by sea or by air or sky.
Does Blackstone or the city not have a teleportation circle?
We assume that they do, that they have some means of transportation outside of ships, but they wouldn't dare transport themselves right in our front gates.
They also wouldn't let us into their gates so easily.
You would need to know, and Rand's going to look around. We would need to know we'd have to intimately know the transportation circle that's there, correct?
You'd have to know the sigils.
Yeah.
You have to put.
this.
Have you ever heard of this place called Stargate? You have to put in this certain
my
code
gosh.
of sigils, and then the correct sigils get you to the correct place.
I enjoyed those scrolls as a child. Yes.
Yes. The Stargate scrolls. Yes.
Which would get us there faster?
Traveling by sky will take about 3 or 4 days faster than by ship. But I understand,
An attack.
not by sky, but rather to transport a bunch of goods and things that we can use into a few of the cities there that we know are safe for the time being. And then we'll stage an attack against Blackstone
When will we leave?
within the next couple days.
Where would we land with the sky ships?
Skyship would land just north of Iclodin, or northwest, in an open field. Not really an open field, but there will be trees and an open spot within the center of this large forest that we've been able to scout out. We believe our skyship can land there, drop you all off, drop some goods. They will return and bring more people, and we'll keep doing this until we feel secure enough to stage a frontal attack from the shores and from the sea, and then also from you all as well as others.
And
What
we're
would you?
expected to wait for everyone else to arrive.
You may do some scouting if you wish, but it is going to be dangerous territory.
What is our? What is your objectives for us to do while we're there?
You can just wait for your captain to give the word. But if you'd like to investigate some of the nearby cities, you'll have a couple weeks' time to do so. But I implore you to not get caught. Do not let the Black Hand know that you're there. They know about the Unbroken. Your name spreads far and wide, and
We're very aware.
soon as they figure out that you're around, they will do everything they can to stop you.
Is this the king or is this Darian speaking?
Is the king.
Forgive my ignorance, your lordship. Have you ever heard of somebody from the Black Hand called the Dragon?
We have some information for you that may be beneficial. But as a person, no, we haven't. But we have heard of a dragon, one that is different from what we've one that's different than what we've ever seen or heard of before.
What do you mean?
This is not like a normal dragon. We haven't seen dragons in quite some time, but this one seems a little bit more... I'm not sure. It seems more like they've constructed it or they've put armor on it or something.
Okay.
But if you see such a dragon, you need to not be seen. We've heard it can light its body up. I believe that's some sort of breathing pattern or we're not sure. We're not sure. This is something we haven't encountered before.
And the interrogation of the Dragon Fang will be commenced before we leave?
Yes, we'll try to do this later on today. Need to find somebody that can perform the proper spell.
Did he tell us when we're expected to leave?
He just mentioned
Couple
the next
days.
couple days.
Is there
Well, if you
technical
want-
information that you can share about Blackstone? We're unfamiliar with this location in terms of population size. Is this a large active city such as where we are now, or is it something that's held by a small army? And in terms of the battle plan, can we get information in terms of how long will the build up take before you attack?
We're hoping that we're not there more than 2 weeks after you all land.
Have made our landing.
Yes. As far as more information, we know that recently we've discovered that the leader of the Black Hand is some elvish man. We haven't been able to get a name. We're not sure what his plans are or what he's doing, but have confirmation that one of his leaders is an individual that was at the arena with you all. He goes by the name Cephas.
Rand's hand, white knuckled fist at his side. Cephas is known to us. He was a former companion and traveling partner until he betrayed us and revealed his true allegiance.
That was part of
Yeah.
why your names were dragged through the mud. That was something we decided to leave out until now. Many people saw Cephas with you all and considered you all Black Hand members.
Rand's gonna open up his shirt and show the scar that he has just under his breast, like where basically his ribs ended in the front. This is a reminder of the companionship that we shared with Cephas. Do not confuse that with friendship or loyalty.
See, he nods. Doesn't seem surprised, but he does kind of. He hears you. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes.
No, please go ahead. Cephas is one of a number that we have business to settle with that we expect to find at Blackstone.
Well, he appears to be one of his leaders, running some sort of military force, if you will. And we believe he has some sort of direct impact with this dragon, or at least their approach to Esaron as well as Telestia. And he's very dangerous. So keep an eye out for him then, because I'm sure he will be very excited to see you, and hopefully very surprised.
Do you know anything of the prisoners that they keep?
We don't, but we know that they keep them. I know
I think
this.
there's much for us to discuss. I think this group, though, hasn't earned a day of rest and contemplation. Can we meet later today? Give us some time to speak, rest, and we can regroup once you've sent word that you're prepared to go forward with the ritual.
Meet back later this evening, and we will proceed with the resurrection of this individual, and please know whether you will travel by sky or by sea before then.
In the meantime, if I may request, do you have a library that may be utilized for research on our end? There are a number of things that have come up that I would like to spend some time researching before we move on, and certainly while the opportunity presents itself.
We do. It's here in the inner city. We will give you access to that, being that you are.
Library that we had visited beforehand. I just want to make sure it's
I
something different. Possible.
believe it was. I believe you guys kind of snuck in.
Yeah, we've been in the library before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All
It's
right.
been a while.
Kind of looks at you. I'll give you free access to the innermost city. If you need anything from us, we will do our very best. But we are counting on the Unbroken here.
Rand gives a nod.
We'll see you this evening. The king kind of sits back in his chair. You could kind of hear him, basically a large exhale of breath, as Darian kind of steps forward. Okay. We thank you for your continued support, and know that you will be rewarded handsomely at the end of all of this. We'll see you later this evening. As he kind of nods, the doors behind you kind of open, and a couple of guards walk in to escort you out.
Give a little bow, walk out.
You all take your bows if you do, and begin to exit. As you exit, they take you all the way back out into basically the entrance of this keep, still within the inner city, just right outside of these large doors that take you in. And a couple of the guards who escort you out, one of them looks at all of you. Well, the king will be awaiting your presence later this evening, as I'm sure you know. feel free to spend time in the city doing whatever it is you'd like to do. Know that we have many people out spreading good news about the Unbroken, and that you were not at all affiliated with the destruction of the arena.
Thank you for your generosity.
Thank you.
Kind of just nods and then begins to step off away, heading to maybe a different area to guard or wherever. You all are now left. It is still raining. You guys are left outside in the rain.
Okay, one moment, everyone, before we go running anyway. We need to discuss something important.
Yeah,
I
so while we're
swear
in
to,
the city,
I
we
swear to,
are-
I swear to no gods, if you betray us right now, I will fucking
I
No,
think
lightning
no,
bolt you
that's
across
not
the.
it. That's not it. I promise.
while we're
Like
here,
all
in the
my
city,
things
we
are
should
away.
split
My
up.
hands are free.
Cal turns into a dragon.
I
He
am
is the dragon.
Buddy.
Yeah.
Can't betray if we were never friends to begin with. What ran?
All right, Rand's gonna follow up. And she's like, "Yeah, you know what? You're right. We probably shouldn't. Our group should stay together while we're here in the city. You never know very much what may or may not happen. The Black
The
King probably hasn't been too far away even after losing control.
It's a good point. That's not what I need to talk about. It's not easy, but
Do we need to go somewhere quiet?
that's not a
No.
bad idea.
There's some things that I'd like to see at the library. Does that sound like a wonderful place?
It's dry. Quiet. That works.
Would love
Have
to make-
we, like, Leaf has been to this library with them, right? This is the same library that we went to last time we were here. Did we pass, like, a blacksmith or anything on the way there last time?
I think we did shopping while we were in town last night.
There is a blacksmith, but it is in the outer city, not the inner. So it's not on the way, but
Was that not the other city where we met? What's her face? And that's where we got all of our stuff, like her
Ava's.
belt.
That was in Lycidian.
That's what I thought. Yeah, Lycidian.
you guys would like to go to the library?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Yes.
Sure.
Library.
Okay.
Research more.
You all make your way through the rain to the Esaron Library, known to be one of the biggest in Telestia. As you approach, you do see this very large building, several stories high, and you walk up these very large steps, familiar steps to get into the building. And as you get in, you see the familiar, just large interior, bookshelves everywhere, and several stairs to go up and find a place to study, read, or find some more books. As you do enter, there's a few people kind of ahead of you, kind of in almost like a center island that you had once seen before, and there are stacks of books on their on their desks and things, and it seems like they do notice your entrance, and one of them kind of waves at you, and then kind of goes back to what looks like their work before. You all kind of take a moment to just dry yourselves off if you can, and you're now here in the library.
Let's go to a floor where there's not many people on.
Were
I'm
we
just trying to
able
find.
I think we remember last time we found like a breakout room. Basically, like there was a side room that we could go in. There was different conference room type.
I'm sure if this is library is one of the biggest in Telestia, there has to be.
Like spaces for you to
Yes.
get material and then come in and be secluded.
Yeah. It doesn't take long. You remember there are some study chambers and things like that for smaller groups, medium groups, and almost like work groups, like conference tables and things like that. And so it doesn't take long before you guys go up a floor to find some of these rooms.
Cal,
Do you want me to go get books and begin my research now, or do you want to talk? What's going
I
on?
should probably just sort of rip off the bandages, I guess. I mean, you all saw what happened back there. You saw what my magic did.
Yeah, kept you safe.
I became a sheep in the middle of a battle. We're lucky I didn't blast myself to pieces. I've gotten really lucky with this magic a lot, but we can't rely on that with what's coming up ahead. What I'm saying is,
Yeah, they're just blankly looking at you.
I can't keep doing this.
Define this.
Adventuring. I want to go. I want to help, but at
But
this
what
point,
about
I can't trust my spells.
your mother? I don't think they're gonna stop.
I know.
You can't go on your own.
I know. I was thinking, I could stay here, maybe act as like a party to the public, like spokesperson or something, an organizer for everyone here, so I could still help out. I don't want to just abandon you, but I can't use the wild magic anymore. And I won't. I will find someone to take my spot to help you that we can trust. I'm sure there's plenty of people here preparing for the siege, and one of them could come maybe. I know this isn't easy, and I'm sorry it's so sudden at one of the worst times it could come up, but
Can we sleep on it? Or is this like
yeah,
there's nothing we can do to
we can sleep on it. But I
I can't speak for the
magic
rest
so
of the party
much.
over here. I trust you with my life. Your wild magic or your non-wild, whatever. You've gotten us out of more scrapes than I can even count. And we haven't even been together that long. Your magic really only failed one time.
Well, not counting the times I released myself. One time I disappeared from reality somewhere else and came back.
Only for a minute.
Leaf has left the room. She's gone.
I think Frederick will kind of take a couple steps up and just kind of place his hand on Cal's shoulder. Like, one thing I've learned from my traveling around and meditation and everything is sometimes you need to take a step back. Sometimes you need to take a break, take that step back to get the full picture, understand what's going on. This is a good thing. Now, I've only known you, Cal, for what, a week, 2 weeks, couple weeks? I don't know. Been a little bit, but I'm pretty sure all of us will still be around waiting for you to come back.
No matter who you bring, we're not going to trust them as much as we trust you.
I know that.
And we have the message paper stuff. Pretty sure
I
we
have
could
some
use
as
that.
well.
There you go. We can keep in touch. I know I don't have a lot of words to put into this, or you don't really have to trust me, but like I said, I mean, maybe this is needed. Maybe this is necessary. Hey, who knows? Maybe he'll come back and be like this freaking amazing badass sorcerer that just poofs the Black Hand out of existence. I'm just saying, kind of cool idea.
If only it was that easy. Cal, if you need a break, I understand. I just don't want you to be put in danger by them still coming after you and us not be able to here to help you.
As much as I hate to say it, but potentially potentially we could get some assistance with that from the guy at the clown, the king.
Do you have any charges in your ring?
I do
Any-
actually. Let me pull up the sheet and double check what he's got on there. Okay, yep, it's full.
It is full. If this is the decision you've made, let me give you something before. Let me at least put one sending spell in there, and you only use it for emergencies. If anything goes wrong, you contact us. We're not saying goodbye right now, but please.
Quick question: what level is sending? The 2?
Level 3.
3. Okay.
If it's too much, then like if you need other stuff, it's fine.
I'll just mirror image and false life myself.
I can stack you up with false life all day and whatever you need. I'll give you all 3 if you need it. Just fill your whole thing up.
So it has Thunderwave, Grease, False Life, and Mirror Image. So I'll use the Mirror Image and the False Life up so you can put Sending in here. The other 2 should be good.
Like I said, we don't have to worry about that for a couple days, but please. I wasn't expecting this. I guess in these couple days you're going to try to find somebody.
Yes. And again, he mentioned the king. There's plenty of people looking to join fight with the Black Hand, so I'm sure we can find someone that is trustworthy enough to get the job done, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Fran's gonna walk over and envelop you in a huge hug and literally pick you up off the ground. To the point like get the really good hug where you get the little 1 or 2 pops in the back.
Yep.
Set you back down and just give you a nod. And please know no one could ever replace you. Do what you must, but you always will have a home with us.
I want to say during this, I think Frederick kind of just quietly steps out of the room, mainly to go check on Leaf, but to kind of give you 3 guys some space to do your thing. So.
Well, let's. I guess so. You're going to be the official Unbroken liaison.
This is what I was thinking. People do like my music and my stories, so might give us a better image.
You're like our what? PR person.
Yeah.
Try to put a good face.
I've got a couple of songs too. Like, what was it? I actually had one for you, Conan.
Oh no, you don't need to play that. You don't need to do that. How about you play it for us on the night before we all leave, before we have to meet back?
All right.
Send us off with one of your best songs. Inspire us.
Actually, I have one for the whole party that might work.
So, out of character, just curious, are you like leaving.
I'm still
leaving
here.
the group.
But it's a
Okay.
character swap.
That's what
You
I
ain't
was
get rid of me
thinking.
yet, boy.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming. I didn't want it all of a sudden to be like, all right, peace. This is my last session. Like,
Oh yeah, no. No, yeah, it's a character swap. Yeah. I should have
um,
mentioned that. Sorry.
No,
No,
you're
no,
I just
Fine,
I didn't think
fine.
about it until
You're good. You're good.
Rand asked me, and then I'm like, oh no.
While
gonna
this
give
is
everyone a
all
heart
going
attack.
on, and after all the emotional stuff, Ran would like to do some research for a couple hours while we have time before we have to meet back with the king, and while everyone's kind of there. Specifically wanting to look up creation myths, the gods themselves, the founding of of the world, the hierarchy, also of kind of, I guess the planes would be the best way to describe it,
Okay.
and then also anything that he could possibly revisit regarding Crexius.
Okay.
I was gonna say I think I'd be on the same boat. So helping with like the creation.
Let me clarify really quick. Ran is very open about looking for the stuff regarding the names and the gods and stuff that came up related to the stone tablet, and creation myths related to that. The Crexia stuff, he's not bringing up and mentioning to anybody else.
This
I
could be
was
awkward. We're in the same section.
We'll see.
I was gonna say I would be in the side of like looking for the names on the tablet,
Yeah.
creation myth, so kind of same area with that. Looking more into the dragons as well, and then otherworldly beings, because I know that was mentioned in the tablet and by Thorthan. What was it? Others from unknown realms. That's what I'm kind of looking for.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I'm gonna do my normal research on Craigslist to see if there's anything new, because that's what I always do every time I get to a library, and also about resurrections, and if I can, if there's still time, I'll start trying to look up how teleportation circles work. I don't know if there's a way for me to try to start learning how to create the teleportation circle spell on my own, but if there's time, I'll. The other two first are more important to me. But if there's a way for me to start working into my spell book, taking notes, and start like working how to make that teleportation circle spell, if there's time, I would like to do that.
Okay. Leaf, where did you scurry off to?
Leaf went to a completely different floor of the library. She wanted nothing to do with that situation, and she found some random like library worker or something and was like, I need everything you have on Blackstone and the island and sailing and sky ships. I need everything.
Okay. All right. Well, let's take a 5-minute break, and then we will resume
Sounds
for
great.
about another maybe
Coffee.
45 minutes or so.
Okay.
Cool.
Perfect.
I was gonna say like you're gonna be our heavy hitter. If we ran into anything, I was fine with.
He's not a heavy hitter though. I have mostly crowd control spells.
Which have been so beneficial.
Oh yeah, no, I
Yeah.
ain't losing those.
Oh, nice.
I'm actually swapping in for some different ones. So that I'm still kind of maintaining the same role. I'm just gonna be a little bit beefier. You'll see.
What did I miss?
Just discussing our heartbreak over Cal.
Oh yeah, of course.
and Ran about to tell the group he needs 450 gold.
For what?
I need to ask for your help once again.
Once again, I am here to ask for a gold loan.
For what?
I can't tell you.
Probably a spell component.
Like-
They're
like-
expensive as hell.
Like in character, or like you're not gonna tell us in character, or you can't tell us right now until you tell us in character.
Would you rather be surprised later, or would you like to know now? Because I will tell you now if you want. If you really want to know right this second,
I want to.
I mean, you could
there are two things that Rand wants to do before this session ends.
If you're gonna say it, I'll deafen myself.
If you tell us in character, I'll wait until you told in character. But I'm not just Corn, especially Corn's not gonna hand you over money without getting told what it's getting used for.
Rand will tell you that he needs it for he needs it for it's important, and trust me that you would want. It's in our best interest for you to provide the money right now. There are things that we need to know.
Pyramid
And
scheme.
Rand has avenues now that there are certain things that he can explore.
Oh God, are you contacting your other plane?
So while Leaf is like reading her little books, are we back yet? Are we back?
You guys ready to be
I'm
back?
back. I'm good. I'm good.
I need 100, or I need 400 and or 300. Why can't I do math right now? 358 gold is what I need right now. Just FYI. Rand, so it's not awkward and I'm not wasting time. Rand's going to go around and ask if there's anybody that if you can contribute anything to
Pretty
something that
fun.
he needs. Hat in hand, Rand is coming around with the collection plate for Torno. Hello.
Oh no! Hell no!
So yeah, if we're back, so while Leaf is like asking this person to find her these books, she's also going to find some paper, and she's going to like take notes, and like any maps that she finds, she's gonna like copy them down, and like all the things. She has to have all the information.
Yeah, you take time and you kind of learn a little bit about skyships. There's not a whole lot. There's just like a lot of models and things, and that this is new technology, and that and like how they operate. And right now, there's two different basically versions of skyships, and one of them is a little bit more magic based, and that it usually has crystals that help it keep it afloat, and that these crystals maintain this magic that is kind of like the engine. And then there are basically like real engines that they've tried to make work on these sky-ships. However, those seem to be harder for them to figure out. There's not very many of those that have been very successful. It seems like the magic ships are typically the better way to go. And so you learn about some stuff like that and kind of how they operate and some things that go into that. And then you just learn about like sea ships and how those operate, and that you're a little bit more knowledgeable with these and you know what these are. And so yeah, you take time, you're able to kind of learn a little bit of info about these and how to operate them and such.
And does she find anything specifically like about Blackstone or like anything about the island?
Yeah, you find a couple of different books that have been written about Blackstone and the Pirate Isle. First and foremost, the Pirate Isle's called the Pirate Isle because Blackstone has kind of occupied that entire continent, essentially. A lot of people just believe that Blackstone owns pretty much that entire heap of land, and that is very dangerous to be over there, and that they've called it the Pirate Isle due to their pirating schemes and stealing and attacking innocent people and such like that, just doing what they do that you've all kind of witnessed. And then Blackstone itself is a very large city. You believe that it seems to be about the size of maybe Lycidian. Not as large as Esaron, but still a big city. And that there are ports all kind of along the shores to the north and northwest of Blackstone. There is a keep, and that it was unknown as to who really leads it. Some of the books that you read will talk about how there's a lot of different leaders, and that they've been in power for a long time, and that their primary goal is to gain power and advance their technology to take over Telestia. Usually their markets are full of stolen goods, and traders are typically trying to scam you and get a deal or whatnot. It's typically not the friendliest place. pretty much what you gather. Unless you have any very specific questions.
Does she find any like semi-detailed maps about like the topography or like anything like that that she can take specific note of, like where they could possibly be landing and how the best way to get to the keep?
Yeah, you find that where if you take a skyship, you find that where you'll be landing is in a large forest. Um, Not much is really known about that forest, but other than that, it's just a forest. There's a couple towns nearby that work in like logging and things, and they like live off of that forest. Um, but to get to the keep, you find that it will not be easy. There is an outer city, and then there are residential areas and such, even outside of the city walls, that kind of make up farmlands, and things like that. And it's hard for you to accept that every single one of those people are bad. And so getting in will not only be difficult without killing innocent people, it could be near impossible unless you figure out a different way, or you sneak in, or unless you figure something out. It's not going to be easy.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna. Anything on Crexius? Anything on resurrections stuff? Anything about gods? Maybe bringing people back, that kind of stuff. But mostly, yeah, just keep learning as much as I can on Crexius as an individual before or after, or any other names he might have gone by over the years.
Yeah, you read a lot of what you already know, but some of the
Yeah.
things you find is that there was at one point in time that Crexius was trying to birth a son, and he was trying to continue his lineage. It seems like that never happened.
Was this post God? When he was already a god, he tried to birth the son?
This is before.
Okay.
This is before he was murdered. Or after he was killed. He seemed to really want to kind of continue his lineage, try to raise like sons just like him, and kind of go about this phase of necromancy and things like that. However, he just never really got around to that. And so you read that this kind of angered him in some areas of his life. However, he didn't seem to let it get the best of him. It just seems like he sometimes would use his anger to try and just learn some more of this stuff that he was really good at already, his spells and necromancy and things. Besides that, you read a lot about his death again, and kind of what he does, what he stands for, his influence. You do find a little bit more about objects that he would tend to infuse his magic into and leave behind as maybe relics or just objects. And so what you find is that yes, some of these objects have been many things that have been reported. Some of them have been as simple as large boulders that radiate this magical aura. Other things have been skeleton heads, skulls, different types of undead creatures that have been preserved in almost like an amber in a way. And so you find a lot of this stuff, and there's a few little things that you find about him wanting to come back to the material plane, but he's held back. And so he's relying on followers to figure out a way to bring him back.
Does it say what's holding him back?
Not really. There are some things that say that it's partially due to that he's just the veil between death and life is very strict, and that coming back in his case is much more difficult because he wasn't resurrected a long time ago, and that his body was basically thrown away and gotten rid of, and so resurrection for him uh, is much more difficult than it is having a body.
Mhm.
And that there wasn't many people that want him back anyway. So seems like from what you've read, he's just trying to figure out a way to come back.
Is there anything that I'm seeing that sounds like the orb that we have?
You find some of those objects that have been infused with
Like talk
magic.
about the hands like coming out of it or anything like that, like them growing like grotesque or whatever. Like,
You haven't
is there?
seen anything in the book that mentions like the tendrils that came out. It seems like a lot of these objects that have been talked about in these books were more like almost like dedicated to be altars, or that they had some significant power that was stowed away and was considered to be dangerous.
Mhm.
And a lot of it isn't completely sure of what kind of power exists within these objects. Your object that you found, this crystal, is much different. I mean, it's got a lot of the same similarities, but the tendrils is definitely not something that you've read about that were coming out of it.
Yeah. Is Ran around?
I was just about to ask: does Rand bump into him at all?
Yeah,
As
you
we're
guys
going
find
through?
yourself in the
Rand's
same
got like
section.
a whole bunch of books, and he's like, "Oh, what are you doing over here?"
Just trying to research this orb. I've been trying to do my own research on since we've departed, trying to learn more about it.
Oh, are we referring to the same thing? We're calling it.
Probably.
It is the orb. Okay, yeah. Have you had any luck? Have you found anything?
Though this book kind of talks about different objects, but nothing that's what we've encountered. It's more altars and that kind of stuff, or like recesses of power, maybe that's been stowed away for people, but nothing that describes what we have in our possession, and nothing that's doing the abilities that's what it's doing. Has it? I look around. Is there anybody else around?
Just you two in this aisle.
Has it? Have you checked on it since then?
Do you really want to know the answer to that question right now?
Yes.
It's worse. It's
Even
much
without us touching it
and Rand
or using it.
closes his eyes and kind of silently just shakes his head.
What is it now?
Oh, God, I gotta remember. Hold on a second. Hold on, kiddos.
Has it started speaking or anything?
No, it has not.
Okay, well that's good.
Sorry, I have to go back and look at something before. I can't explain it other than to say it seems more powerful. There's a green fog. The last time I pulled it out, it was a few days after we parted company. It started to have a green fog roll off of it.
Did it hurt you when you touched it? Did you touch it?
I didn't know. I did not interact with it. It seemed to have grown. I didn't do anything with it. I put it back. I still have it with me. I don't know if we're going to find any more answers here. I need a favor. How much money do you have?
I could just banish the thing. Maybe.
I don't know if that That's an average.
Doesn't
That's something that's open to me as well.
that doesn't solve our
So,
problem? I know,
I
but
don't know. That might create a larger problem.
never mind. It cannot banish a thing unless it's a
No,
creature.
it cannot. It can only do it as a creature. Okay.
What do you need?
Specifically, I need about 350 gold of specific components to be able to do a ritual.
What sort of ritual?
I
Is it
don't-
dangerous?
I don't believe it would be dangerous. No. I need incense, and I need ivory strips. And not to get into the whole metagame of what everything costs, I would explain the components that I need. I said I need these, and I think that there's additional information that we would be able to obtain. And then there's another avenue open to us that I also want to explore.
And what is that?
Speak with Torno.
Like you have been, or in a different way?
In a different way.
A dangerous way?
No, not dangerous. I wouldn't put us in any more danger than we already are.
It's not
I
us.
don't
I
know.
said danger for you.
No.
I will pull out 250 gold and give it to him.
Okay.
If nobody else can give you any more, I can give you a little bit more than that, but that's almost everything I have.
Thank you. I think tonight we need to, if I can round up the rest and get the supplies, I think we need to sit down tonight and see what we can do. I think that we need to know before we go on another jaunt, if there's more information that we can get about this, that we should get it in front of us so that we can make the right decisions.
Are you going to be asking about other things or just about the orb?
Tonight is about the orb. Well, it depends, to be honest. But
Do we need to look at it? Do we need to? It's been like more than a week, more than that, right? Since you looked at it last?
Nat, how long would it have been since the last time I looked at it?
It probably would have been, let's see. It probably would have been a couple weeks. Yeah, probably 2 weeks.
Okay.
2 or 3 weeks, maybe.
That's why I'd rather, with the prospect of us going to another continent or another on the other side of the ocean and spending several weeks waiting for an invasion that may or may not come, I'd see what we can
Yeah,
do
we can't.
now.
We can't sit there and wait for everybody else.
I don't know that we can rush headlong into a city full of pirates, cutthroats, assassins, and thieves either.
Fine.
All right, I'll with one hand I'm gonna hold all the books that I have, and I'm gonna reach out and take the gold that he gave me, pocket it, and I'm like, here, look at creation myths. See if we can find any of the names that came up on that tablet.
Okay.
Thank you.
I guess that's what I'm researching now. Never mind the teleportation circles. I'll start researching creation myths.
Okay.
You can go on if you want to go on to like to Frederick.
So,
Quick side note though, once Leaf has all of her information, she's going to like sneak her way out of the library and go find a blacksmith.
okay.
That would be why Rand can't find her. To look for her donation to Torna. And all.
She's gonna spend it before you ask for it.
So, quick question: did Rand ask for the money before he did the library searching?
After realizing how close he is in terms of gold now to what he's looking for in terms of purchasing components, he would not have asked beforehand. Now that after talking with Corin, he would try to find Cal. And
Cal would have also left to go looking for adventurers. Dang it.
All right.
Yeah, it's a big library,
Cool.
so you'll be looking.
You just find Frederick, and I'm the last
reconvene.
choice, and I'm just. How much are you needing for it?
No. Rand doesn't know you. Like he wouldn't. He,
Okay.
he wouldn't like. I don't know. Would he?
Here's your
No.
member.
see,
What's
that's-
your? Here's your membership fees. That's what he's.
Well, I'm just seeing it this way, where it's like you go to ask someone, and then they're already gone. You go to ask the next person, they're already gone. You're like, slowly turns around. You just see me looking at books, and you're like, and then
If I-
slowly
Broke
walks
guy.
over.
No. So Rand will think about it. Rand will see you turn around. He's like briefly thinking about it. Sees you turn around. He's like, and then just Rand is going to go look for incense and ivory strips.
If
Okay.
if you absolutely need it, I have 94 more gold I can give you.
Rand has it covered. Rand has it
Okay.
covered at this juncture.
Frederick's just like, oh hey, Rit, and he's
It's just-
gone.
I-
Okay.
we'll catch up. Shopping.
Okay.
episode.
I like-
mhm.
I do like that Rand is the one that said we all need to stick together, and then he's gonna go shopping.
Everyone else left. Rand can't find
Yeah,
anybody.
everyone
but
else
he's
left
like-
already. It's too late.
Yeah.
And Rand's like, now that he's talked to Corin, he's like, I need to get on this, and this is something that needs to be done within the next 24, 48 hours. So I am specifically looking for 250 gold worth of incense and 4 ivory strips costing 50 gold each. I don't know if that's possible. If it is not, completely understand. If it is, though, those are the components he is looking for.
Cool. Yeah, it's very possible.
Okay.
Frederick, you find a couple books, and you see Rand for just a moment as he leaves, and you continue your search for stuff about just the kind of the creation of time, like the world and stuff. Correct?
Yes, that, and then if I can find any of the names, that's great. And then kind of looking like how dragons are connected to the beginning, and then of course the otherworldly beings, unknown beings from unknown realms.
Got it. Okay, so what you find, you search for the names in like the tablet that you remember, and you're having a hard time finding any of them. You really can't. It's really hard for you to even find Thorfinn's name. But you do find a book about Thorfinn, but again, it's very it's not very dense. It's just like it titles him the Elder God, and it talks about how Thorfinn was known to be like a great worm dragon, and then it's very, very limited knowledge. They say that he used to scour the lands and was a part of how some of this earthy material, the material plane kind of became was because partially due into Thorfinn. But it doesn't it puts like a little disclaimer that these are very these facts may not be facts, essentially.
Conspiracy theories.
Kind of, yeah. And but that Thorfinn is a dragon, and that he's not known, hasn't been heard from, and not known to exist anymore. Is kind of what you read in the book. But you don't find anything about some of even the missing names. Like, you're trying to put the letters together and just look for a book that says something like that, and you don't find a book. You don't find anything about Rayatala. You don't find any books that even seem to mention it. And so you look for otherworldly stuff, and you start getting yourself into learning about the planes of existence. You learn that there's a Feywild, and the very opposite of the Feywild is the Shadowfell. You learn about the ethereal plane and how it encompasses and touches the inner planes of existence. And this typically is what creates your elemental planes. This is where the plane of fire, air, water, and earth exist. And they all basically work together to create a balance of magic across Telestia. You learn a little bit about the astral plane, and this is where there are certain deities that have made their homes. They've basically created their own area in the outer planes, and have basically just created their own realms. And this is where you see a little bit about a little bit more about the Scarlet Witch and how that's where she's living, and Celia and Serena, the twins, twin gods who they do a lot of lycanthropy and moons and stuff like that. They also are supposed to be living in the astral plane. So you learn a lot of cool stuff like that. And you learn a lot about the Feywild, but you don't seem to hear a lot about other worlds, if that makes sense, like other like multiverse type stuff. You don't hear anything about that, but you just know that there are these other planes of existence, and that they're there, but you don't know fully who all lives there, what all lives there, what all. You kind of have a good idea, like with the elemental planes, that they're hardly hospitable to people like you guys right now. But places like the Feywild was where the first elves came from, and you learn that, and that's why there's elves in this land, is that they've kind of converged at times. So you learn stuff like that. Do you have any like specific questions further?
Is there any talk of like unknown realms, so like unknown planes, like maybe something that like there's a theory that there could be another one out there?
Yeah, you definitely, in the book, definitely mentions that there's an endless possibilities of planes that we just don't know about yet, that other creatures, beings, and even deities may be living on, that we just haven't been able to record and find out about yet.
Like for a few seconds, Frederick's mind just starts going through a whole spiral of like multiversal theory and all this other crap, and he's like, "Is there another me out there?" Now that's stupid. Anything else about like calamities, end of the world kind of thing? From what the stone said, that there was some sort of a calamity that happened. Yeah. Yeah. Great calamity of evil.
Yeah, you look and you find some stuff that almost seems like that adds up. You read a little bit about how there was a tear between a few layers of hell, and that way long ago Torna kind of helped try to seal up some of these tears in this time, and was able to fight off against some devils and take care of it. And that was a lot of people call that a great evil that kind of extended over the land, but there's nothing that states like a great calamity or a great evil. There's talks of how, and you know this just from studying it also in the past, is that there's a lot of theories that dragons were at one point like rulers of the land, and that they are what created the land, but a lot of books now say that that's not the case, and that there was multiple deities that had a part in creating Telestia. And so, yeah, you don't find anything about a great calamity or maybe a great destruction, or and the only great evil that you were able to find again was that several layers of hell kind of tore into the material plane, and they tried to basically take over the land, but they were bested.
Okay. I want to say that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, because there's not really much on Thorthen, and then there's nothing really about the calamity. So yeah, I think that's it.
You are curious as to why there's not anything about some of this stuff. Like
Yeah, and
this,
I know because Thorlin did mention that obviously I'm not supposed to know about this yet. None of us were supposed to know about this yet. And that there isn't anything out there except for this stone tablet as far as we know. So I'm definitely interested in why there's nothing, but I'm also not expecting there to be a lot to be found in a library. I'm more like I probably should be looking in some ancient ruin or something like that. But obviously those aren't around. That's not something easily found. So, yeah, that's it. I guess I will go. I'll probably just leave the library and go look for other people, look for everybody else.
okay.
None of us talked about where we were staying tonight either, by the way.
Well, I figured we're all going to be going back to the king's place tonight, and then we were finding residence after that
Okay.
Yeah.
because he said he'd come back this evening. But I don't know how we're going to know when it like we're just going to show up and like, oh, it's 5 o'clock. I guess we should head over.
Pretty much.
Time to do an interrogation.
Rand's plan was to stop back by the library, see if anybody was there, collect anybody. If they're not there, then to head to the palace.
Okay. Did everybody? Oh, you were gonna read some more on what was it, Corin?
I guess whatever Rand wanted me to look up more creation myths, I guess, but if that falls in line with what we don't have to go through the whole spiel again, if that's what basically I find the same thing as Frederick.
Yeah, it's you find a lot of very similar stuff that Frederick would have found. That the creation of the world it happened that there were just deities that were just there that slowly all grew to form Telestia. They wanted a place for themselves to stay, and that led to other people coming into the world, and so they created other people, and they wanted community, and that's when things started to get kind of crazy.
Okay.
With the world, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing you do find is that there, at one point, there was this very large dragon that was breathing fire, and that's what kind of created the scorched lands on the map.
Yep, I do remember that.
And it was said that this dragon basically scorched that land to basically death. So a lot of different areas within that region have had a hard time regrowing and yielding just this beautiful flora and fauna like other places.
Yeah, I'll just keep staying here and just keep researching until I get picked up.
Okay.
Hey, are there any like magic item shops?
Let's see.
I just want to see what I'm not looking for anything in particular. I just want to see if there's anything interesting because I have money now. So
You
Got a
get
hole
so
in
many
your
returning
pocket, huh,
darts.
bud?
I had kind of a small skit planned if Rand was going to ask me for money. I was either going to give it to him or I was going to be like, oh, it looks like I only got like this 3 gold. Oh, shucks. Would not have worked, but...
You would have to do some looking, but you think in a city this big, somebody's got to have magic items somewhere.
Okay. I think that's what Frederick would be kind of looking for. He wants to look for something to beef him up a little bit. Maybe if there's like a blacksmith that has like enchanted weapons or anything or something like that. So.
Okay. Yeah, we'll say you spend some time. Yeah, and it's this point, Leaf, you're making your way over to a blacksmith. And you find basically you go back to the ironworks. It's a place that you I believe you guys were at one point in time. You make your way to the outer city, and you see the familiar half orc who is currently working on some different weapons, some different swords. It's just a very large individual. And as you approach, he kind of takes a moment to clean his hands off and put down some of his tools. And he kind of crosses his arms. "Oh, hello! Welcome." And he kind of takes a look at you. Did you ever come to the Ironworks, Leaf? Okay.
Nope.
He kind of looks at you. "Welcome to the Ironworks. What can I do for you?"
I'm looking for. Well, I need you to make. So I need a set of lockpicks, and I know they're technically illegal, but I need them because I have to be able to get doors open, and I'm willing to pay you extra to keep quiet about it.
All you had to say was you needed lockpicks. I can get those for you. He kind of gives you a very suspicious look, but runs back into his shop really quick and comes back with a box of about 20 lockpicks. And he just kind of holds them up. Well, box of 20 for, we'll say, 2 gold pieces. Sound fair?
She will hand him 4 gold.
Okay.
And then she will ask if he has any like special weapons, like anything that's like extra fancy or like a little touch of magic in there.
He kind of thinks to himself, I typically don't deal with magic, but you can always take things over to the artificer's mind, or you can go find some of those silly wizards that like to do stuff like that anywhere. Yeah, I mean that's what I got. I don't really deal with the magic. I could always try to find somebody and enchant things for you. Done that before.
That's okay. I can go to them out of character. About what time in the day is it?
It would still probably be morning, probably like 10, 11 a.m.
So
It'd be 11.
She'll just that's okay. I can go there. Where are they? I'm not from here.
If you're looking for the artificer's minds, you can just kind of points just right, kind of next to his shop. You can see that this entire area is kind of dedicated towards armories, smithies, and things like that. They're right there, but be warned, they're a little weird.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you very much. And yeah, thank you so much. And she's gonna like turn and like scurry off to the artificer place.
Okay. As you approach, you see that it's like messy, and there's like scrap metals and pieces kind of lined out everywhere. And as you enter, it seems like that's kind of what they sell, is a lot of scrap metal, a lot of like parts to things, and you hear 2 individuals kind of in the back. Sounds like they're like talking to each other. They're just like, I think we should do this. And he's like, no, that's a terrible idea. We should just infuse magic into this. And they're kind of arguing back and forth about what to do.
Excuse me. Hey, I'm sorry. I don't mean to startle you. I just wanted to see if you had any like magical weapons or like really pretty daggers or anything like that might help somebody if they were going into a super dangerous place.
You see 2 gnomes that kind of make their way forward. And they're wearing these like circle goggles around their eyes, and they're kind of steampunk looking. As they approach you, they're like, well, we have a customer. And they kind of like look at each other, and they laugh a little bit. They say, oh, well, we we could get some of that stuff. What about a dagger that explodes? And then you hear the other one, oh, no, that's not ready yet. No, last time you threw that did not work. And so they're like, hey, come back next week and we might have that working. But yeah, what do you need? Sorry.
I just, I'm just looking for things that, I have to go on a trip and I'm not, I don't feel like I'm ready. And I just want to make sure that I can keep my friends safe. And I mean, if you don't have anything that could keep us safe, then that's fine. I can go find the wizards, I guess. I just wanted to see because the nice guy over at the blacksmith told me that you guys would be good.
You don't go to the wizards. they can't do what we can do.
So, what do you have that is ready?
Well, we got some cool stuff. We got some like, we got these like little, I like to call them bombs. It's like filled with gunpowder, and then you just light it, and then it goes boom. It's really cool.
How many do you still? I like look at their hands and see if they have all their fingers.
They're like coated in like oil and stuff, but yes, they seem to have all of their fingers.
I don't. I'm not a big fan of fire.
Well, you should be. They kind of think to themselves for a second. What about? And then one of them goes and grabs what looks like a pencil, and it's like, we call this the tool that never stops writing. It's got infinite lead. And the other one like punches him. He's like, you're not making a good sale. Like, okay, listen, you just tell us what you need. And if you need it built, and we could do it, you just gotta trust us. We do really good with things that go boom.
Do you have a way of containing the fire? Like, if I needed a dagger that would just light up when I needed like a little bit of light, or like wanted to burn somebody a little bit, or I just like keeping the fire in the metal somehow would be awesome.
Yeah, we could do that. That's just kind of like the dagger where you throw it and it goes boom. We don't make it go boom.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, we could do that.
I don't want to go boom.
Oh, you won't go boom. It'll just be hot.
You know, give me some time to think on that. But definitely that is a good idea. You should run with that. Let me talk to my friends about it before I decide to do it, because they keep me from going boom. Yeah, I'll come back. I'll come back.
Oh, that's what they all say, and they never come back. But we'll be waiting.
And then she's gonna like take like 3 steps away and then turn back around. How much for the pencil?
50 gold pieces.
50 gold pieces?
The other one punches him again. Don't listen to him. It's 25.
15.
Deal.
Got ourselves a hackler over here.
She's gonna buy the pencil.
Okay. He just kind of holds it out to you. I promise it won't go boom.
Gonna very like gingerly like take it with her thumb and her index finger and just.
It looks like a completely normal pencil.
Now, if this does run out of lead,
It won't. It's impossible.
But if it does,
Just said it won't.
I will come back.
Okay. To buy some boom.
I'll make you go boom.
Okay.
And then she just like toddles out.
They go back to work. You can kind of hear them argue, like you're terrible at making sales, and they kind of start arguing back and forth. Seems like that shop doesn't do too great as far as the way it looks and sounds. There's something for everybody. All right.
And she's just gonna kind of like window shop on her way back to the library.
Okay. Frederick, you are out searching for a blacksmith.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you find yourself kind of in the same kind of region, or not region, but area of the ironworks, and you do see a half orc working on some stuff. You know, further down there's a few other smithies that you could go check out if you'd like. This is the like the first one that you see when you enter.
I'm just trying to look for one that has either some really pristine weapons on display or anything like that, or have like magical weapons. I guess I'm kind of looking for an upgraded like quarterstaff.
Okay.
So whether it be like a +1 or like quarterstaff of flames, like something crazy, or or even a longsword, because I know monks can use longswords if I'm correct. I might need to look that up actually.
Okay.
But so,
You
stuff
might be
like
able to
that.
with Tasha's, I think. As long as you're
Um,
proficient with it.
Yeah, I want to say. Hold on. Yeah, I'm not seeing if you can or not, but but yeah, just maybe an upgraded quarterstaff, stuff like that. That's really what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Preferably if it is like a quarterstaff of flames or something like that. I would preferably like it to be like a quarterstaff of like lightning or thunder. Fits the vibe, fits the aesthetic.
Okay. You start looking around, and you do find kind of this little area that seems kind of dedicated to monks, and you do see this human who's kind of got this robe on, and he's walking with looks like a cane, and you kind of lock eyes for a moment, and you see off kind of what he's offering are just like things for monks, like stuff on their hands for unarmed combat. It seems like there are what look like different types of staffs, robes, and things like that. If that sounds interesting to you.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'd go up and ask. Just, are you busy at the moment? Wanted to see, what you're selling. Looks like you've got some staffs. Mind if I look at them?
Go ahead. Yeah. And kind of just ushers you to the supply of quarterstaffs that he holds. You see
Any that stand out?
You see a couple of them that do stand out to you. Some of these are normal quarterstaffs. However, some of them have looks like maybe gems were put into them to make them some type of magical essence. And there's not very many of them, but you see that there is one that has like this blue gem kind of encrusted into the top of the staff, and it's got like these blades that kind of rear up and around it to kind of protect it, like cage it in. You see another staff that is kind of ornate. It looks like it was maybe like almost made by elves. It looks very nice, nicely made. And it also kind of has 3 basically almost like hooks, like metal hooks at the end that kind of come up and over and around. And there almost appears to be like a floating magical essence that kind of sits at the top of this quarterstaff. You find kind of a similar one that has a red gem kind of placed into it. And then some other ones you find that appear to be a bit thicker, maybe made of a stronger material, as far as it goes with quarterstaffs.
I guess I'd look over at the sales guy and just what exactly do these staffs do? Is there any like cool, crazy, like magic-y effect?
Yeah, but I hope you have some coin. He's like, that one right there, and he points to the one with the blue gem. He says, this one you can, when you make a strike, you can do some extra cold damage. It tends to be helpful. He says it's that gem on top that's got that magically enhanced power to it. Like I don't really have a name for it, but we've enhanced it and it works. Kind of looks at the next one. This one, we call it the Vicious Quarterstaff because it is vicious. Sometimes when you hit an attack just right, he was like, you're going to be able to hit them even harder than before. I'm explaining that essentially you're going to deal extra damage on top of rolling a natural 20. So you'll roll your natural 20, you'll do your extra damage, and then on top of that, you'll deal an extra 7 damage, just base damage on top of your critical hit. And then he looks at the last one. And the one with the red is the same as the one with the blue, but with fire damage. It can also be used to light things up. Just it works as a great light sometimes.
You know, kind of sidestepping from the staffs, have like I've seen these a couple times. It's like a dart with like a rope on it, like kind of swinging around, and it's hard to explain. They're called rope darts, I think. Anything like that, possibly. I don't know if that would be really a usable public thing, but
I have no idea what you're talking about.
okay, yeah, no, that's fine. You know, let me think about it. I may come back.
Yeah, sure.
I would just kind of make my way out, and then try and find everybody else. Probably heading back towards the where the king would be, just to see if everybody else is there.
Okay. All right. So the rest of you are, I would say, spending kind of your time still in the library, which I believe was really just Ran and Oren. Cal, how are things going on your side?
Very good question. So the stuffs is prepared.
Okay.
I didn't know if this day or the next day was going to be when
Okay.
the bumping into a meeting happens.
Okay. You could say that as you're searching around, you do bump into an individual as you're looking about, trying to find maybe your replacement. you do happen to see an individual that seems, just from the outside, strong. And you go to take a you just go to say hi and see who they are.
Is it who I think it is?
It is who you think it is.
Okay.
Here comes the new
Tempest.
voice.
Corin called it. Yeah, no, yeah. This is the part where I talk to myself. And everyone realizes I'm crazy.
This will be fun.
The new party member is just Drazane using a different voice, but it's still Cal, and we're all kind of really confused why he's just talking different.
Oh, that would be hilarious. So I'm guessing this would just kind of be like outside, just kind of hanging around.
Yeah, you'd probably be somewhere in the trade market, kind of near the area where you had first talked to Madame Aruta and had your fortunes read.
Okay. Oh yeah, I remember that place. That was a good time.
Yeah,
Also one of your best NPCs.
thank you.
The sass was too good, but yeah, I'm stalling now, so.
If it's too weird, then we can just say you.
No more stalling. Okay, so I'm just trying to think of how Cal would approach this because this is awkward for Cal.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, oh yes, I'm gonna go up to somebody and tell them, oh yeah, like in 2 days we're gonna go play siege on the Black Hand. Like, it's not easy to convince people that normally, but yeah, Cal will he'll walk up to him.
Okay.
And the figure will turn to greet him. Good day, sir. How you doing? Hello. You seem like a very heavily armored, weaponed person. Chainmail, flail, shield. Are you a paladin or a fighter or something? Well, yes, sir. I'm a paladin of Torna. Came way down here looking to do good things, help people out, kill evil things. Like paladins do. Paladins. Yeah, I'm paladin. Well, it's great. You may have heard there's been a bunch of hubbub with the Black Hand and them causing a lot of trouble, and I happen to know some people that are going to help in the fight with the Black Hand. Doing some traveling to fight them and deal with them on their home turf. Oh yeah, sounds like a great opportunity. You got room for one more? Yes, actually, but it wouldn't be right if I didn't tell you though. We are going across the ocean to Blackstone. It's dangerous. Oh, sir, if it wasn't dangerous, I wouldn't be going. Trust me. My name's Bass. I go by Bass for short. Barnaby Bass Jenks C. the second. Good to meet you, sir. And Cal and him will shake hands, and the man's got a pretty decent grip. And yeah, Cal will then realize we didn't pick out an inn to stay at, and he's going to just go back to the library and pray they're there.
Okay.
Bringing our feller Bass with him.
All right. You
Bravo.
start heading back. Yeah, that was awesome.
The seamless switch.
It's hard to start, but once it starts, I'm
No,
good.
it was good.
That was the hard part, was starting it. Yeah, I'm gonna put his name in chat here.
Okay. Well, you
want me to read that in that voice, Leaf? That word, that name? Percy
Oh,
Frederick
it was-
Steinbaum, Musil de Raulo the Third.
it was the names that got me. I was like, this is a Percy person. This is a Percy person.
Percy would be a good name too.
Okay.
I got the name wrong. It's Percival. I am so sorry.
All right. So you head back, hoping to find your friends at the library.
Yeah, he'll start at the library.
Okay. The rest of you, I would say. So I would say, yeah, you could get back to the library, and I believe Rain and Corn are staying there for until the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Bran went to go get his supplies
Ran
for
Yeah,
his
he wanted.
school.
He let to go get
licensed
supplies.
supplies. If
Okay.
he,
Yes.
he can do that whenever. He can leave, wait for everyone to come back and go and get them. If it's easy, if he knows that he'd be passing shops that it'd be reasonable to find those at, but if it's something that he needed to go hunt for, like if you talk to the library staff and they're like, hey, yeah, you're gonna have to like trek all the way over here to the outer ring left corner back alley at sunset to get this stuff, then he would have left information with Corin about, hey, if I don't see you by such and such time here at the library, let's meet at the palace.
Cool. Yeah, just you would find this stuff, this incense and whatnot. It's not too difficult to find. I'd say you end up, it would totally end up spending about 315 gold, rather than the 350 like you had once thought.
It's 450 total.
450.
It's 450, so it is.
I think that's how much the spell components like. That has to be worth that much for the spell components to work.
Right.
For the way, if we can change it, that's fine to cut me a deal. But the incense has to be worth 250 gold. The strips have to be. The way I am reading it,
Each one's I think 50.
each 4 ivory strips worth at least 50. Yeah, it says each 50
Okay.
gold pieces each. So 450 at the end of the day.
Okay, cool. So then, yeah, you would find that
Okay.
find that stuff, and you'd be 450 gold short, or less, I should say.
Awesome. I enjoy being poor. I have a lot of practice of that in real life. It's awesome.
Yes.
It's the worst.
I
yeah.
would like to. I keep throwing things in there, and I'm so sorry. If Leaf sees anyone selling potions on her way back, she's gonna stop in and see if they have any health potions. But it's like not a big deal.
Okay, just normal health potions.
Yeah, just like any health potions.
Okay, I mean, you could probably find just some simple health potions or greater potions of healing if you wanted to. Up to you on what kind. I'd just say on your way back, you do find a store that sells them.
She probably do 1 greater and 2 regular just to have 2 of each.
Okay. Let's see. You would end up spending, so it's about 50 gold per normal potion, and then greater is about 200 per.
Okay. Perfect.
So if you buy 2 of each, you're looking at 500 gold.
Cool. Got that covered. I've stolen enough of that off of dead bodies. It's awesome.
Not 2 of each.
Oh, okay.
She has one of the greater healing potions already, so she just wants to get one of those. And then
Okay.
she wants 2 regular potions.
Okay. So just 2 regular potions is 100 gold total.
Real quick as well, I messaged you about the thing. Crazy idea. Is there any way I can get it to where it's kind of I'm trying to find a way to be able to use like the ogre gauntlets as well as using my dex. Any way I can get it to where it's a meteor hammer and a rope dart, so like the metal ball on one side of the chain and on the other side is the rope dart, and so I can basically, if I decide to do, because I think from what I'm reading, if I do the rope dart side, I can use the rope dart during like as a bonus action as if I'm doing an unarmed strike.
Mhm.
But I was thinking having the meteor hammer on the other side of the chain, that way I can use my strength with that one, and then for my unarmed strikes I can then use the rope dart part, or I can only use one per turn. I can't use like the meteor hammer and the rope dart in the same turn.
Right. I think, yeah, that could work. You'll just have to almost like train with it because it is very different. And
Okay.
so it may take a little bit for your character to train with it. So I would say you probably wouldn't have your proficiency bonus added to the attack rolls and stuff for it. But yeah, we can make that work.
Because with the rope dart one, it is considered a monk weapon, and like that portion would fit for the character. But I know the meteor hammer one, that's the part that's going to be outside of that range. So that yeah. If we need to workshop it more, I'm down because I have other ideas I want to implement with it. But I wanted to see if I can incorporate, like I said, my strength with my dex, and then maybe kind of get rid of my quarterstaff, or at least put it like away, and just use the rope dart and meteor hammer, because I feel like that would be a really cool mix.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, we might workshop it a little bit more, but we'll go ahead and say we can make it work.
Okay. Because I can after this session, whatever, I can make like a real quick like weapon like sheet, and then if you want to go through it and then mess with it, then you can. That way we can get it defined, and when I'm not trying to like figure out how it works halfway through a session.
Yeah. Cool. All right, we'll do that.
Okay.
So you probably find that stuff and spend about 40 gold on that stuff.
Sounds good.
Cool. Okay. So as the day goes on, Moran and Corn, you guys are in the library hanging out. Kalter and Bass, you are both making your way into the library to maybe find your friends. Well, Kalter's friends. As you enter, you just kind of start back kind of where you started at the study chambers, and it's not long before you do find both Rand and Corin nearby. I would say Rand and Corin, both of you would see that Kalter has seen you, and you see that there is another individual with him.
I hate him immediately.
Oh no.
There's something off about him that you just don't like, Corin.
I feel the power of Torna emanating.
Yeah, that's
Another
right.
one.
Another one.
I can't wait till he says Torna. I'm like, Torna.
There is an immense jealousy already brewing between Rand and whoever this person is. Like, almost as if he knows he's competing for the love and affection of a higher power.
Doesn't your god teach camaraderie and all that stuff?
I didn't tell you any of this. I just got a bad feeling about this.
I'll look up, give him like a nod, and like keep researching for a little bit until he comes over to talk to us.
Yeah, probably at this point, Rand's also has been going through books and stuff along with Corn.
I'm guessing, yeah. So it's just Ran and Corn that are gonna be here.
Yeah, Leaf and
Everybody else just kind of like went off. I
Yep.
don't know where everybody. I said for everybody to stick together, and what happens here?
Point you have to know, Leaf doesn't listen.
Rand's worried about you, just FYI, because you just like disappeared.
Yeah, Cal will kind of wait a moment and then just kind of walk over to you guys and have motion to have Bass just kind of wait a second.
Who's
How
this?
goes the research?
I'll kind of like I'll close the book and kind of like bridge my nose a little bit, like kind of a little bit frustrated. It's a lot of stuff we already know. It seems like I thought this being like one of the greatest libraries in all of Celestia, that might be fine. It just might take longer to try to find more minute details.
Things getting really old.
What'd you say?
Anyways, yeah, I think we exhausted kind of all of our avenues here, but we have a different tract. Maybe.
And he wants to do something tonight after the interrogation. By the way, we need to talk about what we want to ask
Those are very good points.
So,
Who's your friend there?
Who's your friend there?
Oh yeah, him. Cal will turn and point at him.
Oh god.
Hi.
Yeah, he will literally just kind of dumbly wave.
Hi.
What's his deal?
So he is a hold your horses, Corn. All right, he is a paladin of Torna
I
who was looking to help with
Take it-
the fight with the Black Hand.
I take 5 steps away, take a big breath out. Come back. What's his name?
He goes by the nickname Bass.
I'll immediately look at Rand. Do you know members of your order?
Would I know this person in passing? Would I know the mention of the name? Is there any chance? Because Rand's already real suspicious of this because we've already been down this path with the
Yeah,
paladin
paladin of
Torna.
Torna.
So, a little PTSD going on.
Yeah, I was expecting that.
I unless Jersey wants to flavor it, I would say probably not. But that you would connect.
Not the name Bass.
Yeah.
Not the name Bass. Okay.
He might recognize the last name though. Maybe.
But you haven't given.
Remember the order thing?
I will. I'll just look at Corin and just kind of give him a head shake. That name doesn't really mean anything to me yet.
Oh, sorry, he's got a full name. I'm sorry, Bass. Would you mind introducing yourself? I didn't quite catch your full name. That's all right. Hello there. I'm Bass. I should pick my nickname. My full name is Barnabas Jenks C. II.
I'm Corin.
Rand just stands there in stunned disbelief at whatever just happened in front of him.
And this is Rand. What is the what's the name the Unbroken mean to you?
I'll be honest. What do you mean the unbroken? Like the word unbroken, like something that doesn't break?
Have you been in this town long? Have you heard anything about a group called the Unbroken?
I got here yesterday, sir.
Perfect.
Where from?
DM, I don't think we planned that part out. It's a good question.
Where is old Barnabas Jenkins?
Oh, I remember a little bit, so
Is it Jenksy or
Jenksy.
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 Okay, Jenksy.
He's from Cirta, in south of Murta.
Does the full name on him introducing himself? Does the full name trigger anything?
You may have
Uh-oh.
heard of some Jinxies, but you've probably I would say you've never really worked with them before.
Okay.
They did a lot of the same that you did. They spend their time building temples and vanquishing, bad guys and bandits and such.
Rand
Is there
will-
anybody else around right now besides us?
Yeah, no, just you three. Well, just you four.
All right, so let's put all our cards on the table. Why do you hate the Black Hand?
Well, sir, if I'm being honest, I don't hate nobody. The Black Hand's bad, and they need to be stopped, and that's why I'm here.
Okay.
Sir, if you don't mind, I see you wearing robes and you got books. Are you a wizard by chance?
I am. I'm in my regular traveling gear right now, so it's like a cloak, pants,
Oh,
and
okay.
like a tunic thing. But you can. My cloak could be robish. I mean, wizardly, sure. I am.
Would you mind if I shake your hand, sir? I've never met a spellcaster before. It's an honor.
Insight check.
Oh,
You
both hands. Yeah, okay.
All right.
I'm sorry, I should specify a non-holy spellcaster. I've known plenty of clerics. I've never met an arcane spellcaster.
He's definitely non-holy.
You're not here. You're not here. You're not here. Corn puts his hand out, and when he says a non-holy like spellcaster, he like gives a flash to Cal real quick to like what did you say? Like I'm like looking at him like what did you say to him? But he'll shake his hand and keep quiet.
Yeah, I'm from a little town. It ain't nowhere big.
Once,
know,
once he starts explaining stuff about him, Rand's going to cast Zone of Truth.
Okay.
Rand's not screwing around with another paladin of Torna.
Yep.
Can you drop that in chat?
No, because I don't have that added as a spell on here, but I will fix that before our next session as one of that.
Yeah, the gist of the spell is if you either let it affect you, then you have to tell the truth basically, or
hold
you
on,
can
I'm
resist
copying
it.
and pasting it in the description in now.
I got it right now.
Yeah, 15-foot radius sphere.
I got it.
Oh,
Aha.
that's-
Yep. I beat you.
All right. Charisma saving throws from everybody in the room.
No, I mean Cal and Bass will both let it affect them.
Do they know that it hits them?
You actually can let it like affect you without
Oh
rolling.
yeah, it is aware.
It's only
of
if you
the spell.
resist.
Aware
Yeah.
of the spell. Okay. You fail. You fail.
Wow, is that a zone of truth, sir?
It is. My apologies. It's rather uncouth of me to do that. However, we've had certain dealings in the past with purported paladins of Torna, and I'll look at Cal. My friend here can speak to our wariness of friends reportedly coming with open arms.
Yes, he's quite right. It's nothing personal, Bass. You seem like a wonderful person. Thank you very much, sir. But this is more of a making sure we're all on the same team. We have had people in disguise, imposters, if you will, as paladins of Torna. Well, one specifically.
If I may, 3 questions, and I'll drop the spell.
I mean, you can ask more questions than 3, sir, but sure.
I feel as I've been rude enough. Do you have any dealings with the Black Hand?
The only black hand Al dealt with was the one time my hand got really, really covered in soot.
Stuff. I know it. Do you really worship Torna?
Yes, I do every day, sun up and sundown.
Do you have any intent to betray the people who are in this room?
Sir, I ain't ever hurt. Bleh, I can't talk. Sir, I ain't ever thought of betraying nobody.
And Rand will drop the spell.
It's about
Reach
this.
out. Give him a handshake.
It's about this time Leaf shows up.
Oh God, I wish you would have been.
I should describe this guy.
Please do.
What
What
do
Yes.
I'm
He's-
imagining him being really tall and
That's what I'm
beefy with
thinking.
that voice.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking
he-
like
yeah.
beanpole almost, tall on a beanpole.
Yeah, he's definitely got some strength to him, but he's not like, Hand und Franz. He's definitely not like that.
Right.
He's a little bit taller than Cal is. Cal's about 6 feet, and he's a handful of inches above him. He's got a bit of a light tan. He's got kind of mud brown eyes and dark brown hair. He definitely seems a little bit younger than Cal is, but not by a lot.
Well, I can't speak to everybody else because we have to decide as a group, but the more people that can help us, the better. I'm sure Cal's already told you we have to go across the waters here in the next couple of days. And
That's right, sir.
we are going to do some work. So that's all we probably say in these areas right now, but I will say later this evening we have to go somewhere, and no offense, probably best if you don't come. Just because you probably don't want to see what's going to happen, but we can always meet back tomorrow or the next day if you're really interested. By the way, the reason I asked about the Unbroken was unjust claims were made about the group, and we are that group. And so we just had to do a lot of stuff for the king to clear our name.
Oh, that's what all the hubbub was about.
Leaf, you would notice your Rain and Corin are talking, and you see Cal, and you see this other individual that is kind of with the group as you make your way back.
Did Leaf leave before he said he was going to find his own replacement? I can't remember.
Yeah.
No, I said, yeah, as soon as he said that he couldn't do it anymore, you just bounced.
Okay. She's gonna like walk in the room and be like really excited about this new pencil that she has, and like she's like so excited to get to tell Ran and Corin about it. And she's like, "Guys, I found the." Who's that?
Howdy, ma'am.
Who
I'm
are you?
Bass.
Why is he here? What? I found a really cool pencil.
That's good.
Leaf, Bass, Leaf, Paladin of Torna.
Actually,
like your Torna?
Torna. As they have, everyone keeps saying Torna.
Wait, is there more than one Torna?
Our Torna.
Okay. Yeah,
Your
Torna.
Torna.
Are your fingers okay? Do you need to stretch them? I know some really good stretches to get your fingers in shape.
She is very specifically not looking at Cal. Like, she's addressing everyone else except for Cal because she is so mad at him. But she, like... Is he safe? Should I be worried? And, like, immediately, like, grabs the dagger. Should I be
Call murder
worried?
hobo here. God. She's trapped!
For right now, yes, we're safe. Everything is safe. We've had a conversation, and things seem to be okay for now. He may be accompanying us, though. Just FYI.
Just kind of puts the dagger back in.
Can he help you with what you need to do tonight afterwards? Or is that a one-man show thing?
That's a conversation for us to have. And Rain kind of like pointedly looks at Cal or at Corin, like, dude, just chill, bro.
So what are we doing tonight?
Well, we have that one thing.
What we do every night. Try to take over the world. Kinky in the rain.
That's dating you.
That is dating me.
Hey, I watched that growing up. I'm not
did
that
too.
old.
Look,
We have the
one
one
on Hulu doesn't count for y'all, okay? I saw the originals.
We have the one
Saturday
thing to do.
morning. Oh, 3 o'clock in the afternoon after school. Anyways.
We have the one thing to do tonight, and then Ran has another thing we need to do tonight. Afterwards.
Okay.
You kind of left before we could tell you.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I would just like for us to meet with the king, do the one thing, and then there's this other thing that I want to do. I don't want to get into specifics right
Bass,
now,
where are you staying?
but we got one
I'm
appointment to keep.
I'm just staying at an inn, sir. I got a room for another night. You sound like you got important business with the king, which sounds amazing. So your best to do your best, and get dressed good. And we can reconvene tomorrow.
What inn are you staying at?
And he's staying at the Starfall Griffin Inn, located on the inner ring on the left corner, and across from the.
You can pick between Sleeping Giant or Dragon's Lair.
I'm at the Dragon's Lair.
I knew he was a Dragon's Lair guy. I knew it. It's all back to fucking dragons.
All
Can't.
tied together.
He is a dragon.
How about either we might need accommodations later tonight too, so maybe you'll see us over there, or we can meet up sometime tomorrow. I have a good look to your face, so if you hear a strange voice in your head, that's just me talking to you, and I'll be able to let you know where we are.
You really are a wizard.
I'm a wizard, Bass.
What a wizard, Corin.
You're a wizard, Corin.
Anyways,
But yes.
Well, that sounds great, sir. I'll make sure not to freak out if I hear a voice in my head.
God, just first thing I do with that sentence, you just hear like, just screaming.
I'm also imagining both Ran and Bass having pray-offs, like they're both seeing who could pray the hardest to Torna in the morning.
Yeah.
who can bow down the furthest.
Well, it was a pleasure meeting you, sirs, and you, ma'am, and I will see y'all tomorrow. And thank you again, sir, for grabbing me. I was completely lost. I had no idea where I was supposed to go for the whole Black Hand thing. So, thank you very much, sir.
Wait.
Of course. Thank you for offering to help on short notice.
What does he mean by that?
Is the Black Hand thing like publicly exposed? Like everybody knows that we're going to go attack the Black Hand? We need to talk about that.
No, it's like yeah, that's a good question. Were you told that your people were looking to go against the Black Hand, or you just decided you
no,
want to
sir.
come
I
to the
just
city
assumed,
because
right? The Black Hand did a bunch of bad things to people in the Coliseum, so because they're bad people and they did this, we can't just let them get away with it, right? So of course, the authorities are gonna do something to help out.
yes, because you can always trust the government.
I mean, it works pretty well back home. I mean, granted, our government was like 2 people and a pig, but
I
worked
understand.
pretty well.
I'm from a small town myself, a village, if you will. But how about we'll convene with you either later tonight or tomorrow. If you don't mind, we're gonna try to go to our appointment and then figure everything else out.
Sounds great. I won't be busy.
Have a good day.
You too, sirs and ma'am, and you, Cal. And he'll walk out.
Warner's blessings upon you.
And to you, sir.
Okay, well, I guess if you feel good about him, Cal, I mean, I trust you.
I think he's the best we can find on short
He
notice.
seems like his heart's in the right place, at least.
Yes.
Cal,
You just couldn't find somebody though
did you
it had to be Torna.
did you just bump into one person and we're like, oh hey, this guy's good, and just
Well, no, see, I
Kind of-
saw other people that were that were potentials, but they seemed a little bit shady. He was the first person I genuinely bumped into that wasn't suspicious, so I thought I might as well take a chance, and just see.
So why is this guy here? I don't. What's? Is he
Cal,
supposed to
Cal is
replace?
Cal's going to become the, and this is a good thing we can talk to the king about. I think Cal's
Public
going to become.
relations.
Yes, he's going to talk to the king about being the liaison of for the Unbroken to help spread the good word of our deeds and achievements. That way, he can still be a part, and also he can be safe under the king's protection in case anything the Black Hand might try to do. Because definitely he doesn't need to be alone. I'm going to give him a sending spell. If he's ever in an emergency, he can contact us. And yeah, I think as far as I know, he's going to stay right here in Esaron.
So he's gonna.
He doesn't
And I-
replace him.
I am still with the party. I just right now I can't do adventuring. My magic's too. It's too unpredictable.
Okay. And she's just gonna go like grab a chair and open a book that she doesn't know what it's about and just pretend she's reading.
The Secrets of Crexius.
It's just an atlas.
Yeah.
Hey, look, guys! Look what I found over here in the corner behind another book. Anyways,
This book had a false bottom.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, after some time is spent, I'd say all of you could benefit from a long rest. You guys weren't really doing anything strenuous or anything. So what's up,
I
Frederick?
would say that I don't go for a long rest because I like I said, I want to try and spend that time training with
Okay.
the new weapon I have.
Right.
So, granted, not like we lost any health during that time, but I'm okay with not taking a long rest for that.
Okay. At some point, a little while later, Frederick does find his way back to the library. He seems like he's sweating, and he's been
Covered in mud.
yeah. He seems like he's been trying to do something, but he does return.
By long rest, do you mean short rest?
Well, you'd be spending most of your day just kind of hanging out at the library or doing whatever until the evening. So as long as you're not doing anything like training or strenuous activity, then it would be a long rest.
So in this time, Leaf is going to attune to her new cloak and kind of have like a sidebar with Cal after she calms down a little bit.
Okay.
So like she at some point just like slams the book down and looks up at Cal. We need to talk. And like storms out of the room with her tiny little legs.
Good luck.
Too late now?
Good luck.
Right now.
Okay, right now.
Don't be afraid to use that false life. You need it.
And like once they're out of the room and like out of earshot of the other guys and all this, she's gonna pull out her dagger of venom and she's gonna grab his hand and slap it down in his hand and say, if you're not going to use your magic, you have to protect yourself somehow. If you push this button on the end, it spits out venom and you can inject someone with venom, and this is yours now. I don't need it. Please, please protect yourself. You are always going to be one of the Unbroken, and until we fully have our name cleared, there are people that are not going to want to be nice to you, and you can't let them hurt you, because if they hurt you, I will not be okay.
Cal will gently take the dagger. I do have a crossbow, but thank you. I will make good use. Hopefully, I won't have to, but I will, if necessary, make good use of this as well.
I know you kind of, I was a little scared of you when I first met you because you obviously seemed a little out there,
I do
but
get that.
I you matter to me and I need you to be okay. And just please don't just disappear forever.
I don't intend to. In fact, the whole town might get sick of me by the time you get back, because I'm going to run out of songs by then. You're going to have to tell me new stories so I can write more songs.
I will write you every time something happens.
I appreciate the inspiration.
And she's gonna like just kind of like okay, okay, I think is that guy really gonna go with us? He seems like he's a lot.
I promise you, with what we have on hand, he's going to be helpful.
Okay, I'll be nice, I guess. Okay,
Just let him
okay.
stand in front of dangerous things. He's got a lot of armor.
But if he he is tall, I bet I could hide behind him.
You probably could. He's taller than me.
Oh, oh, this will be fun. Okay, well, you have the dagger and you know how to use it now, and I think I'm good now. I'm sorry.
It's all right. It is a lot in a short amount of time. It's a lot for anyone.
And she's gonna kind of like, okay, are we good? We're good. Um,
But good.
I'm ready. I'm good to go back in and we can go, I guess, raise somebody from the dead again. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna toddle her little way back in the room.
At this point, Frederick has returned. I'd say it's getting closer to evening, but you see Frederick, who's, for lack of better words, just disgusting.
We need to figure out what we're saying to. What are our questions? What do we want to ask? What information do we want to know?
Any ties with Black Hand?
Woof. Okay.
I'm saying. You need a question, and I'm like,
Yes. I mean, I was obviously one. But is there anything else we need to see? Like, do you want to ask him about, your God, like, or God, whatever, like your person? Do you want to?
what he knows about the tablet, because that was in their treasure room. So whatever he knows about this tablet, whatever he knows about a calamity,
Can
that's-
you,
that's-
Brand? Can you do that spell again on him?
Which spell? Oh,
The one you try to sneak on me and Bass. I don't know. I wouldn't. Corn wouldn't know what it was called. He would
Yeah, I
just.
know. I know
He
what
would
you're
have
saying.
felt.
I am thinking on how.
I, for some reason, felt compelled to tell the truth.
Um.
Technically, I guess if you just had a long rest, I don't know if.
It depends on. Yes, yes. I would be able to do it again. That is
Is
not
it
an
worth it?
issue. Whether or not it will.
Is that going to interfere with yourself later?
No, it would not.
Okay.
Whether or not it would have an impact on the answers we receive, I don't know.
At least you know he couldn't lie, right? Even if he can bend the truth, he couldn't lie outright, correct? That's what I felt like, at least when I was under it. Like, if I said anything right then, I wasn't.
Okay, so above table talk, I don't know how that would work. I think he would have to tell the truth because it depends.
You
So
have
if
to
there's
tell the truth. You can't lie.
It says
well,
it could
that's
be
different.
evasive, though.
It
I
can
like
be
if, like,
evasive,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, it can
But I'm
be
saying you can't
evasive.
outright lie.
So if they're just doing speak with dead and they're literally just speaking with it, instead of doing a true resurrection.
We're not. Well, we're definitely
I
not
don't
going to
know.
be. Corn will be stopping that. They're just doing the stupid speak with dead.
Once he's if he's brought back fully to life, then it's just the same as what we went through earlier. He'd be able to make a roll and could fail the roll, so it'd be up to that. Why are you rolling things? Anyways, however, if it was speak of dead and then zone of truth, I think that he'd just have to tell the truth. He wouldn't really be able to be very evasive because I don't know. I don't know how all that would work. Anyways, back to the game. We'll just have to see what happens. Yes, I could use that spell.
Okay. Well, if we wait another day, I could use a spell to make sure to bring him back. But I could have something in if they can't do it. I touched him before. The minute passed. I used a spell. That basically extends the time that he can be brought back. So I think he still would fall within any
Oh, no.
revivify.
I have methods and means even without that.
So Black Hand,
Black Hand.
Frederick stuff. What's the stone tablet?
No, we know what the stone tablet is.
Well, I'm saying like any connection, anything more that he's not telling us about it. Like,
Is there something that we don't know that he does?
does he know anything that the writing doesn't say that you can't read? Does he know anything what that means? Like, has somebody told him what those spaces, those blinks are? Because there's stuff we can't read. How many people he's actually killed?
I don't care so much about the killing as whether or not there's another. If there's
Other locations nearby?
that he's aware of.
I figured the killing was for something for the records when he was charged before the king enacts his justice on him.
Let's see what they want to do.
Yeah, I think it's getting close.
It's all dependent. It'll all be dependent on what happens there. We're prepared either way.
I guess we head back. I don't know if he said he was going to send us a message or what, but
You guys wait
should we?
until it gets to about evening, what you would consider to be the evening, before you all kind of pack up your things and put the books back and get prepared to head back to the King's Court. And kind of ready for, or maybe
Yeah, I
not
don't know that
ready,
either.
but
Oh, is that because of the cape? I'm like, what?
I was like, what the?
Yeah. Okay. So what
Yeah.
are you saying? It just smells like farts around you the whole time?
Hmm.
Just sulfur and.
Well, the way he described it, when we found it was that it smelled like smoke, but the thing says this cape smells faintly of brimstone, which, as far as I remember, is a very sulfuric smell.
So very smoky farts. Lift smells
So
like
does
very
Leaf
smoky
just
farts.
smell like?
it's just very, it's faint. It's very faint.
You just.
Yeah.
Is
the-
that?
What?
Frederick's just like,
Oh,
ooh,
man.
okay, I'm gonna go wash myself real quick.
I'm not glowing orange, am I?
God no!
That cape is giving us all effects.
It's just
Alright.
not FX. Not my best work.
No.
No.
Workshop that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
To the castle.
You
the
guys
castle!
travel to the castle. You're greeted by the guards who, as soon as they see your approach, they just open the doors, and they begin to escort you back to the hall. And as you are entering into that long hallway, once again with all of the pillars, you see that there are a couple more individuals here, as well as the body that you had left previously. He is currently, they have him like sitting or like laid out. And there's a couple of what look like spellcasters. There's these individuals in robes who are next to him. And they seem to just kind of be examining his body. As Darian and the king look at you at the group, he welcomes you back. Darian speaks first. Unbroken, welcome back. I hope you had a good day.
Give a bow.
Well,
A really cool pencil.
that's great. Let's not waste any time. We're going to bring this man back to life, and we're going to seek out information.
Like actually alive though, not just 5 questions and then he goes back to being dead.
We've decided that we will use the resurrection spell in hopes to bring him fully alive to how he once was. He's got some gnarly wounds, and not all of those will heal up nicely. But being a leader of the Cult of the Dragon, we've decided that this is the best. This is the best route that we can take, and afterwards we will handle him appropriately, whether that is an execution or a banishment. We will figure that out after. I hope you all came ready with questions, and I hope we get a lot out of this.
So do we.
You watch as he looks back at the king. The king just nods his head, and you see that both one of the spellcasters begins to, you watch as casting a spell. You see that this man seems to close his eyes and begin to utter some verbal commands. And you begin to see almost like this aura of life kind of go into this guy's body. And as it does, you immediately see his chest rise for a second. His hands and arms twitch a little bit.
Is he restrained at all?
They have him on the ground, but there are also 8 armed guards here. As you're watching this guy,
I'm gonna as they're doing that, I'm just preparing a counter spell for in case the dragon fang decides to try to do anything.
Okay.
And Letha's gonna step between the dragon fang and the king. Like put her body between them.
Okay.
She's short enough that the king can see over her, but
Yeah, so the way this is structured is that there's the king, and then kind of everybody in the middle, the resurrection in the middle, and then there's you guys.
Mhm.
You'd have to kind of walk around the resurrection.
Yeah. Okay.
As you do walk around, a couple of the guards, they kind of walk forward for a moment, and one of them says, "The king didn't ask you to approach." Yeah,
it just keeps going.
Darian just kind of holds his hand up to the guard. Try not to be sudden about your movements, young one. As he looks at you, and you place yourself in between, and you watch as this life comes back to this man. As he wakes up, his eyes open, and he looks groggy. He's taking a second, kind of holds his hand up, and he just looks at it for a second, and then he kind of starts to look around the room. Oh, where am I? You see Darian. You're in the king's court in Esaron. We've got questions for you that you're going to answer, or we'll make sure to send you right back to where you were. He's just like, oh, no. Oh, no. As he seems upset, getting upset. He's like, the Unbroken is here. They've got questions for you as well. So we're going to start with them. And this guy's just kind of laying on the ground. He looks very weak. And he kind of just nods his head over to the majority of you. Get on with it.
Dude, look, I want to look up Iran. Do we need to? You think?
Your Excellency, if I may, there is something that I might be able to do to help ensure the honesty of any answers that we may receive from him. If I can cast a spell, I would appreciate your permission.
Kind of looks over you and just nods his head.
So Rand's going to need to get, I think it's 15 feet. Uh,
60.
oh, is it really? Is it 60 feet?
Yep. It's a 50-foot spear centered on the point of your choice, but it's
15
60
foot.
foot range.
Yeah, it's 15
Nice,
foot,
yeah.
60 foot range.
Yeah, that's
So
nice.
I'll just drop it. Zone of truth. On that, centered right around the gentleman, whatever his name is, Dragon Tooth, Dragon Fang.
Dragon Fang,
Into?
Dragon Tails.
All right. So does he need to make a save at all?
Yes.
Charisma.
I'm gonna
It's
save
charisma, I
throw.
believe.
Yep. Charisma saving throw.
Okay, he's gonna do it at disadvantage.
Yeah, just came back to life.
He's waking up to ash and dust.
Imagine dragon.
It all comes back to dragons, man.
Always.
Never stops.
Beef, I got you. They're awesome in person, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, fail.
Okay.
So he knows he's affected by it. They cannot speak a deliberate lie while within the radius. I'm assuming that the way the guards are structured, that basically what that 15-foot radius is that he would not be able to exit. Like he can't get up and monologue walking around and find an area where he can step out of the 15-foot radius.
Okay. He kind of looks at you and understands that he just was affected by this spell. Oh, so that's how it's gonna be. Kind of looks at you.
I will.
Are you connected with the Black Hand?
At one time we were, but no longer.
Why?
They needed our help. They were interested in dragons.
How long ago was this?
Maybe a few months back or so.
And why did y'all's relationship end?
They weren't interested in partnering with their kind of crime.
Oh, so you just Corn stops and holds his tongue before he says anything. The stone tablet, and I'll kind of nudge Frederick. I'll whisper. I'll cast message real quick. I know that's going to take away my concentration or my ready for counterspell, but don't show the tablet. But make mention of what we found, but don't show it to anybody. But you lead this.
I gotta kind of just step forward and what do you know of a great calamity?
Kind of just, he chuckles for a moment. You really just don't know, do you?
Asking the question, I felt like that was a part of that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Are you going to answer? You're just gonna evade it.
Well, I don't know much, but I know there was a great calamity, and I don't know if it happened here on Telestia, but somewhere out there.
Huh?
There was something big that happened.
And does it possibly involve a being of dragons, say? Maybe one of the name of Thorthan?
Yeah. Yeah, we think so. Which point you can see that Darian and the king are both kind of sitting up and they're listening in. Like this is information that they probably don't even know.
What do you know about Thorthan?
Just some ancient dragon. Supposedly flew across Telestia or lived in a different plane of existence, or he's important.
Hmm.
Why do you care so much?
Say that your little treasure room was quite insightful.
So you found everything in there, huh?
Dragon do you align yourself with? We heard names, but I want to hear from you.
Primarily the cult of the dragon. We like to focus our efforts on Liveroth.
Would you say Liveroth is against Thorthan?
Probably. Thorthan seems like a good kind of dragon, but we don't really know that for sure.
I feel like at this point, Frederick is kind of just one hand on the amulet, just kind of messing with it as he's like asking these questions. Um, and at one point, uh, he's gonna bring up a couple of the names uh, of like from the tablet because I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. Uh, Raytala, Ritala, is that what it is?
Rayatala.
Rayatala. Is that one that we've mentioned before, or was that we only heard of that from the stone?
I don't recognize that name. I think that's from the stone tablet.
I'd bring up that name, like, who was Rayatala?
Huh. A great question. So you found my stone tablet, the one with all the information on it. At which point, you see the king kind of look a little bit, almost like he's about to ask a question, but Darian speaks up first. You find something in there?
I kind of just ignore them at this point, and I'm just, what are we missing?
He looks over to the king and Darian. Oh, they didn't tell you that they found something very valuable in there.
I'd go up and just grab him by the collar.
A couple of the guards and stuff, they kind of lean in close, and Darian's like, "Wait!"
Forgive my impudence, the right hand of the king and your lordship. You did tell us that whatever we found in there was ours to keep. We weren't sure that we were supposed to tell you every last detail of everything we found. We told you what we thought was important for you. This is something for us for our personal reasons.
We very well understand. We still abide by that, but it seems
It seems like more information needs to be shared between us if this is so interesting to you.
just curious as to why you're asking so many questions about this.
It's important to him.
And let him continue.
A bow. Thank you.
He's looking at you. You can see like the weakness in his eyes and just that. The resurrection has got him back, but physically he's going to take some time before he can really come back to his full potential. He's just kind of looking at you. Not smiling, but just cold almost.
How did you find the tablet?
I wasn't the one that found it.
Who was?
Some of our members.
Where did they find it? Did they tell you?
I don't remember, but I know we were searching for a horde to build up to try and appease Liveroth or any dragon we come across. Looks like you all found some of our horde.
Is there anything else of convenience that ties to the tablet that you have?
We don't have any other tablets. We don't know what it means. But if you ask me, it's not from this world.
Shit. And then I would just kind of lightly push him and let him go. And then I'm just going to take a few steps back.
How long has your operations been going on in this area?
Not long.
Where did you come from before?
We were scattered out across Telestia. And few of us that survived long ago decided we would try to rebuild.
Survived from what?
Our extinction.
Are there still...
We were attacked and killed by many others that live right here in Esaron.
Because you were sacrificing people to try to make them into dragons?
Because we were
Or
trying
dragons.
to appease Liveroth.
By sacrificing people?
It almost worked.
Jesus enemy.
How many innocent people did you kill for your silly little experiments?
I quit counting after 30.
How many of them worked?
How many of them what?
Worked.
We only had just a few, I think. But we lost control. So we had to execute them immediately.
Are there still any splinter groups of the cultists of the dragon around?
We're spread across Telestia. More than you probably expect.
Any of them close by, close to you, that you've been in contact with? Any of them still aligned with the Black Hand?
No, none of us align with the Black Hand.
Any of them close by?
They might be close by. We tended to keep moving. That one area you found was one of our strongholds, one of our bases.
I look around to see if anybody else has questions.
Forgive me out of character. Forgive me if I missed this when my power went out again. Did we ask them if they know anything about the dragon that the Black Hand has?
No.
That
But
would
I
be
think,
the next question.
think out of character, that's something that we know that I'm trying to not. We don't want to shed too much light on because I'm pretty sure that's a construction made by Steven's mother. Is what I'm getting.
But
I can ask.
the king
Doesn't
kind of
hurt
knows about it because he told us a little bit about it, so I feel like it's safe to ask this guy what he knows about it.
Ask the question.
So yeah, she would just. What do you know of the dragon that the Black Hand has?
It's not normal. It's not like any
How-
dragon we would worship.
What have they done to it?
I don't know. But it's either an entirely new dragon or they've done something very different to it.
Have you seen this dragon?
Just once, I think. Flying overhead in the dead of night. Lights up the night sky.
Do you know if it's in Blackstone?
That's where I think it is. Blackstone is one of those places that just holds all kinds of secrets, and plan on going there. Then make that your burial site.
What do you know
any...
of the prisoners they keep?
Kind of looks at both of you because he didn't understand.
Yeah. I'll be quiet. Let her talk. Yeah, because I didn't mean. Sorry. Go ahead, leave. My apologies.
What do you know of the prisoners they keep?
I don't. Like I said, we don't align with the Black Hand. We don't know very much about them at all.
You don't align with them anymore. You were dealing with them. You have to know something.
We know that they were paying us good money to try and assist them find dragons. But when we decided to tell them no, they threatened to kill us. And so we gave them a bunch of our money, offered us somewhat of a truce.
If you don't mind, I have one question. Corin already asked most of the ones that I thought of, but did you ever in your dealings with the Black Hand meet someone that went by the name Amastasia?
When he says that, I'm gonna kind of look out of the corner of my eye and just see if the Darian or if I'm gonna watch Darian to see if he has any reaction to that name.
Okay. You don't see an immediate reaction. You see them look from Cal to the guy, but nothing shocks you.
Okay.
No.
I didn't think so, but I thought I'd ask. Thank you.
You all have a lot of questions.
We're just getting started. They haven't even gone yet. You're not going anywhere.
He just kind of lays his head back. Just kind of looks up to basically the inner roof of this place, ceiling. Well, what's next?
I'm gonna look over to Darian. Do you mind if, since we went first, can we still stay and listen?
Kind of looks back towards the king. I suppose.
Thank you.
Darren kind of moves his way up to look at him. And he takes a long moment to think. He kind of looks at you all. He's not aligned with the Black Hand. He takes a longer moment to think as he's trying to think of maybe what to ask. What are the defenses like in Blackstone? He looks, I don't know, ballistas on top of the castle. Probably some sort of, I don't know, something in the waters that keeps ships from docking over there. I don't know. Darian kind of nods his head. We need to think on this. Keep him as a prisoner for now.
If you have anything that can cancel magic that you could attach to him, like cuffs or anything like that, I would do so. Also, you might need to bind his back because he does have wings.
Kind of looks down and sees he's nodding. And then Darian looks. I don't think we ever got your name. And he kind of looks up. Why does it matter? He says, because it matters. Maldus. Kind of just nods his head again. Maldus, have you ever tried venturing south? And Maldus kind of takes a moment to think. Nobody goes south. And he says, have you ever tried venturing south? Maldus says, no. No, but some of our members tried. Nothing but gray fog that kills you. Darren just kind of like strokes his beard and is thinking for a moment. He looks at the Unbroken. Have any of you tried to travel south before?
Past the Gulf?
Into the unknown?
No.
You mean way south, like way, way south across the ocean?
Yeah.
No.
Wanted to ask something real quick. Where, because I was found out at sea, from what I was told, when I was younger.
Mhm.
Where was I found? Was I found in the southern seas, or was I? I don't remember if we did that or.
Yeah, I don't think we did,
You were
but
found in the frozen lake.
You were actually found in the Kraken seas.
Because I could have sworn we said something where I like not grew up in Esaron, but like this is where they dropped me off basically.
yeah. I think it was probably south.
Is there anything that I would know? Because I know I was extremely young at that point, so probably not, but
Make a history check.
reach deep down into my mind, see if I find anything.
Your mind palace.
Yes.
I have a -1 to history, so nope.
Me too.
Ooh.
Yep.
I mean, don't get me wrong, that was a tragic experience. I was found out at sea during a storm, so I'm like, I probably don't remember anything.
Drawing a blank.
Yeah, unfortunately, nothing's coming back to you.
Your memory's a little foggy.
Darian kind of looks over, stroking his beard again. We want to figure out what's down there, but every time we send somebody out, they never return. And it just becomes nothing but fog. The water turns into a blood red. And beyond that, you never return. I don't know if that's... I don't think it's Black Hand related. It's completely aside from our main mission, but
Mm-hmm.
thought it would be good to ask.
Maldus.
Kind of
Does the name Excipio mean anything to you?
doesn't.
think I would mention, I think Frederick would mention to the king and his right hand just being, I don't know anything, but when I was younger, I was found out at sea more towards the south. I don't know if I was on a ship that went to the south and I was one of those survivors. I don't know if I came from the south. I don't know.
And Frederick gets arrested to be an experiment.
But I was found in that direction. And the only thing that I was told was it was a intense storm. It was found floating on pieces of debris. And that was it.
Both of them seem pretty interested in you. And Darian looks towards you. This might seem invasive, but we've got very powerful spellcasters here. You allow us to probe your mind.
At least ask me out to dinner first, but why not? I found something that I want to know.
That sort of thing takes time, and that's not what we have on our side right now.
Well, when we do have the time, I will agree to it.
This may be something we have to do in the coming weeks after this Black Hand situation.
If we survive.
That's something you must do. We'll take Maldus and keep him as a prisoner. If there's any other questions, we'll interrogate him for them. Or we'll find someone that can cast such a spell as Zone of Truth.
Thank you for indulging us.
Thank you for giving us some of this new information. It's very helpful. Earlier, we had talked about whether you decided to travel by sky or by sea. Have you made your decision?
I look around the room. I think, unless anybody objects,
By sky.
sounds like
we will travel by sky.
yes,
Sky,
by
definitely
sky.
sky. Definitely
By
not
sky.
a
I
sea.
remember now.
I'm gonna exasperated sigh
He's kind of like looking at all of you.
by the sky.
I'm a little excited, but you're sure. I mean, we
Yes, we're definitely sure. We want to do
It's-
sky, not sea. Please, not sea. Not that it is scary or anything.
It sounds like there's might be stuff in the water. I know his information's a couple months old, but sky might be safer.
Well then, we've never had a fully staffed crew fly this far in a skyship before. So if you're really sure you want to do this, we'll get you set up with our captain that's going to be taking you all across.
Ran is almost
Um,
Above
Leaf
that.
Leaf is going to kind of like halfway question him about like what kind of skyship it is, because she does know a little bit about this now, but nobody else knows that she knows about this.
Is this the model 720 or is this the model 360?
Looking at
But
you.
it's basically going to be like, are you putting us in the magic skyship or are you putting us in the mechanical skyship?
Kind of looks at you. I commend you for your knowledge on such ships. We didn't know many people knew about this. This particular skyship that we've got built will be encrusted with 3 magic cylinders that will assist in powering the ship, keeping it afloat. There should be enough room for all of you, as well as a few more individuals that should be joining you. You'll just need to help the captain with any sort of duties that may need to get done, and hope that it's a safe trip.
And I assume you're going to vet these other individuals to make sure they're not spies.
I trust them. You don't have to worry about them. You'll head to the flight yards, and you'll look for the ship called the Endless Horizon. There you'll meet your captain.
What is his name?
Be looking for a guy named Edison Newman. It's kind of a
Just
interesting fellow. He's got a patchy beard, little short for a human, but he's a good guy. Knows a lot about these ships.
it's only fair that I mention, due to the recent events, I will be staying here in Esaron, acting as a intermediary for public relations between the Unbroken and others. We have vetted someone that is safe and trustworthy that would be accompanying the party for this mission.
Kind of tilts his head for a second, and says, "Well, they're safe and trustworthy. Then, at this point, I feel like we have to trust the Unbroken. So, we need to reach out to them. Then I guess we'll come find you."
You couldn't find a better magic user by chance, if he could be allowed quarters here. He's also seriously hunted by the Black Hand. It's not safe for him to be alone in the city.
We can do. We'll figure out something. Keep you under some sort of guard. But you will be safe. Keep
It is
you.
appreciated, thank you.
Keep you out of their touch. Well, if that's everything, then be safe, Unbroken. It's maybe the last time we see each other.
Thank you again.
And good luck. You see that see that there is some sort of almost emotional semblance on his face that as he kind of reaches each of your eyes. He hasn't known you for long, but there's something that you can tell he puts a lot of trust into you all. And the king even kind of also just takes a moment to stand from his chair. And he just kind of looks at all of you. I don't know another group like any of you all, but I know that you all can handle this. I know you all will bring the Black Hand down.
It's a lot of pressure.
You can do it.
That was internal.
He was just
That
saying
was external.
Oh God. He's in my mind.
We'll see you all at the end of this.
Thank you.
Takes a moment to sit back down. And it's at that point that the doors open behind you again, and a couple guards come up to get ready to escort you out.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's go.
As you are escorted out, a couple of the guards say, "We've prepared some of our finest rooms in the inn in the outer city. You won't have to worry about paying for those."
We appreciate the hospitality. Can you?
Is that at the Dragon's Lair by chance?
Yes, it's one of the finer inns in the outer city.
That's not bad. Got some money. Okay. Living it up.
We hope this is accommodating, and tomorrow, if you can, find some time to get to the flight yards and meet Edison.
We will.
We will.
That he kind of sends you away. The rain seems to have stopped by this point. And y'all get prepared for your journey.
Do we want to I look at Rand as we walk out. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I am respectful of everybody's time. And
Oh no. I'm saying
leaving.
like I'm just saying like I know we're ending. I know we're ending.
Yeah,
We're not
yeah.
keep going.
Yeah.
I was gonna say just like that. I will make sure we're all gonna remember that we're doing this thing next, not going to the next day.
Yeah, the next thing, yeah, there will be a thing or two that Rand wants to do tonight before we transition into the next day, whenever we play next.
Cool.
And Cal would like to pass some money to Rand because he will be needing it.
No, Cal's gone. Or Cal, you don't know I need money. You left already, so you don't need. You don't know I
He's
need.
still with us. He's not
No,
leaving us yet.
No, I never asked him for money. Is what I'm saying. So he doesn't know that I needed money. So
When I was more just thinking, you could bribe people with the money in Blackstone, maybe if you had to.
okay, all right.
Not giving everything, just what I had, what I could spare you.
Okay.
Just 1,000
I just
copper.
so it's like nighttime now,
You let me know.
right?
You let me know what
Yeah.
you wanna do, and I will put it in the party funds.
So Leaf, as they're like walking out, is gonna go, guys, I can do a new thing, and dimension door 500 feet ahead.
Counterspell.
Like she's reaching through the door and it cuts in half.
Why would you?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't do that. Do your
There's
thing.
just half of her body's over like 100 feet
Okay,
away.
Hey, you guys watch as this
Alright.
dimension door pops up in front of you, 500 feet away.
That helps. Jerzain, that helps.
Cool.
What's the probability of these airships like, crashing into water or like the ocean? Just
There
a
you go.
question,
We'll find out next time.
Yes.
Based on my research.
Next time.
Next time on.
Yeah, broken. Cool. All right, guys. Well,
Cool. That'll give you plenty of time to think up things for when I do my rituals.
yes.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. I just gotta ask, what's prompting the character swap?
Okay, so there's a handful of things. The first thing mostly was I've done so many like just random character builds and learning about making characters better and spells and stuff, and I was like, I love Cal, great character. I really enjoyed the actor feat as well. Mimicking the bandits was really fun, but like I felt like I could do a lot better with a new character and kind of better round out the party because when I first made Cal, I didn't really know what I was,
Yeah.
what everyone was going for. So I just kind of, I kind of just made it work. So it was partially that, and it was also I just wanted to just try something new.
Cool.
Also, hey, him, all the wild magic stuff that's gone on. The sheep one was what was really just. He was like, nah.
Right.
It made for good times.
I'm gonna miss that
It was
grease.
pretty funny. Oh, the grease, I know. Don't worry. I may or may not still have grease.
Oh my gosh. It's not gonna be the same.
Yeah, I won't be greasing myself anymore. Thank Torna for that.
Thanking Torna.
Quotations.
Yes.
All right, guys.
All right. Well, I'm sorry we ran a little long, but
No.
I think it
Yeah,
was
was
good.
I
a good
appreciate y'all
session.
playing. Yeah.
Loved it.
Alright.
Tentatively the 27th.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
All right.
Cool.
Hope you all
All
have
right.
a wonderful weekend.
All right,
Bye.
guys.
Peace.
You guys take care.
Take
Bye,
Bye,
care.
love you, Rob.
guys.
Latest.